Still there?
What Just Cause are you live streaming in honour of, Timbo?
That was last week. It was last I recorded. Just cause. Just cause.
Just cause.
Just cause. This one I didn't put a name on it. There we go. Should be
Just
streaming
because
now.
I can.
So they can all hear you.
Um.
Or should do. All nobody.
Oh, there we are. Right, I've got it now.
Because there's nobody on there. Not yet, anyway. So I'll start to drift in to see what's going on. That's what happened last week. Oh, there's Armageddon already. He's
Yeah.
always straight in.
Oh, bloody hell, yeah. Well, yeah, I suppose people are. Yeah, if they're waiting for Terry's stream and they know that the last couple of 3 times you've done it through your channel,
Yeah.
they're going to have one eye on it, aren't they?
Well, they would do. You'd think so.
I'm guessing. Yeah, you'd think so. So yes, I'm
setting up.
I'm out
Go
on
on.
site again this Wednesday. Well, I'm actually out on site Wednesday and Thursday. All of these little stores, when we have to witness the testing and commissioning, it's a 2-day affair. And if it's far enough away, I'll just book a hotel room. Now, I usually go for Premier Inn because they're cheap and cheerful. You know what you get, and there's nothing flashy about them. And they're usually between £80 to £100 for a night. So this is in a place called Footscray, Sidcup. It's right on the outskirts of London, but you basically go over the Dartford Bridge and hang a right and head towards London. And there's a Premier Inn just a mile or 2 down the road from the site. I thought, yeah, that'll do. 130 quid. And the photos of the room, they are exactly the same as every other Premier Inn I've stayed at. But for some reason, because it's London, it's gone up 30 or 40 quid. It makes you laugh. I mean, it don't bother me because I just claim it all on expenses anyway. But it's like, why is it so much more expensive? It's only London. It's not like a special place,
I'd be inclined to pay less because
It's not even in London.
it's London.
Yeah, and it's not even in London. I mean, it's only a few miles off the M25. I mean, it's London, but the very outskirts. One of the outer suburbs. It's not even. If it was in town, I can maybe understand it, but it just makes you laugh because you think, oh, it's more expensive. The rooms will be posher. Oh no, they're not. They're exactly the same as other Premier Inn I've stayed in the last year. And of course, the joke is it's not even bed and breakfast. That price is just bed. If you want breakfast, it's extra.
Which bit of non-London are they
ridiculous.
sending you to?
Footscray, Sidcup.
Ken.
Yeah. But it's like, really? That's worth another 30? I think so. Like I said, it doesn't bother me because I know that week after next I'll get it paid back again in all my expenses. But it's not exactly posh, is it? Sidcup.
So Blue and I agree that Bev mostly acts as if he's totally retarded. He's not totally retarded. He's partially retarded, acting as if he's totally retarded. But then again, there is one person on his streams who actually is totally retarded, and that would be who? Do you think, Farmer's Boy?
I don't know. Actually, there's a list of options, but I'll go with Paige.
No, starts with the same capital letter, but not Page. Page is retarded by all means, but there's one that's even more retarded.
I'm trying to think because, to be honest, I don't give Bev streams a lot of attention. I tend to give them 30 seconds at a go, and I think, no, I can't take any more of this. P. I don't know. You'll have to help me out. I can't remember.
Well, think of cellulose.
Yeah.
Oh, paper onanism, or whatever he calls himself.
Paper orgasm. That's him.
Yeah.
Is that his? I've only heard.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is it paper organist?
Yeah.
Whatever,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
whatever that.
Some of the things he says are just completely stupid. Like, he's got absolutely no idea at all.
Oh, it's Brian's logic levels of stupidity, isn't it? Sometimes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Except it's not funny.
No,
Brian's
that's
logic stupid is funny, but Paper's stupid is just not even
that's
funny.
true.
Oh, you get to sit there and listen to Paper talk himself right into a damn shithole. I mean,
Yeah.
he'll start out not too far off, but by the time he's finished with his impromptu thinking process, he's nowhere close.
Mm.
Yeah, while I was pulling nails out of the floor and punching down the other nails, I put Bev's latest stream on and I was listening. And I got to the 3 hour mark when they started talking about celestial navigation. Oh, man.
Really.
The stupid that came out. Oh, my God.
They have no idea.
They got a
No.
clue. What do they know about celestial navigation?
Absolutely nothing.
It is like listening to a group of primary school kids arguing about, adult stuff. And they're just making it up as they go along because they ain't got a clue. Bless their hearts.
Yeah. That's scary.
There's nerd alert out in the chat. Yeah, Paper organist. Yeah, he knows him.
Yes.
God.
And
Yeah.
then, of course, whatever ridiculous things they say, you've got SE to just sit there and agree with everything that they say. Yeah. Because that's what he does.
Yeah, I tuned in yesterday. I haven't been in his chat, and I'm not going to go back into it either. I'm just going to stay away. Boycott the motherfucker. But I tuned it in yesterday just to hear the front of it. He didn't make it. He didn't even make it 60 seconds before he started attacking me.
I know. Yeah.
I think
Oh, absolutely. He spent the whole stream absolutely obsessed with blue marble science.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Well, it's not funny. It's actually sad.
it is. That's why I think they've come over to your channel, because they get a bit bored over in theirs. Over to your Discord.
Well, they're all banned. I banned them again. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was moaning about that too.
Oh.
Well, maybe they ought to try behaving.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of coming over and doing what they've been doing.
What have they been doing?
Busting.
There's Alan. Hello, Alan.
Hello, Blue. They come raiding your Discord server for content, don't they?
Of course they do.
Pretty much.
We've got nothing else.
Well, they don't chat on theirs. That's what I find really weird. You look on Blue's server and there's whole conversations. You go over theirs, it's like meme, weird comment that doesn't really do anything. Capture somebody from somebody else.
Copied text chat from another. It's meme, copied text chat from another server, meme, another copied text from another server. He likes pasting conversations from other servers on his own.
Yeah.
Why? I have no idea.
Yeah, that's very odd. They all hang out there, but they're just looking for people to go crooked. That's what I see. So they're waiting for something to be posted so that they all can make comments on it.
It's funny because we set it up so they couldn't even they could post reactions, couldn't post images, links, or anything like that. and they bitch about it for a minute and go away, but they still come back.
Yeah.
Yes, Wally. I was looking for something to have a go at, have a look at. We've got Flatsoid's fantastic failure. Go on.
In Tunes on Tuesday night, I did nominate Lindsay for top left.
Yes, I did see that.
Nominate who?
Lindsay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't watch it yet.
Although I don't think he stands much of a chance.
No, because there's some much stronger competition, I'm afraid.
I think
it's his complete and utter unwillingness to talk to anybody else other than just post his videos.
Yeah.
You've got to be a connoisseur of derp to appreciate Lindsay. He's pretty strong derp. Only certain people can actually withstand the flavour of Lindsay.
No, you just go off and make a cup of tea.
So, I was just looking at it. I'll put it up on the maybe I'll share it. It might work well. Where are we? We're in Discord, aren't we? How do I do it there? Sure. So the nominations went. I can look at here. When you look at the nominations, you can see where it's going. It's Flatsoid. It's pretty much on that list.
Well, he has been working extra hard, hasn't he, to get that?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's quite deliberate.
Well, it's a bit like Riley. I mean, Riley wanted to win. And of course, that was even more impetus for us to say, no, don't let him get any better than ever. And he wanted to win, and he welcomed it because reasons.
Yeah,
He proved something. I'm not quite sure.
Haven't heard anything from him for bloody ages.
He doesn't seem to be making videos. But he'll crop up in the comment sections of all the other flat earthers. He's there to white knight for them quite happily. But I don't think he's put anything out for quite some time, which can only be good.
Yes.
You mean he's making an honest living?
I doubt it. Maybe he is. I don't know what he's up to.
Who's Archimedes Revisited?
Don't know. That's a new one on me.
Apparently you got a nomination. I don't know that one. And Cindy Sue. See, two of us. I went for Som, but he's just he's just so far. He's not even on the hill yet.
Well, I mean.
Oh, I see. The two Brians have been morphed together. Brian's logic / leaky. And Gary White Benker voted for himself. Yeah.
Well, that was no surprise.
What?
I think he was pushing for more votes, but no one wants to listen to him. Go on,
Jason
Alan?
Mathers. Is that taboo?
Som asked to be nominated himself.
Yeah.
Obviously not realising what it was.
He had no clue, but that's
Yeah.
like everything. What's 4? What's 4? David, Dave, what's 4 about? Did I miss something?
Som stand for?
What does SOM stand for? Good question. I'll have to look at. look into it. I was thinking of maybe trying to do a nomination, like a what's a video, or find out whether how that's working.
Maybe sad old Muppet.
Probably something in Swahili, you know, or one of the African languages. He's very much a religious flirt, but I think it's I don't think he's very much on that either.
Which one's that?
Som.
Oh,
He's a religious flirt, but he's that sort of he's that sort of ignorant religious flirt who just thinks that, you know, he doesn't really know why he says what he says. He's just doing it. But that's why it pretty much sums up everything he says. So. Mikey Smith, I think, is actually very top left. But he doesn't put out enough for people to vote for him. He's put out a few things, but he's not that everyday type guy.
no.
I wouldn't call Mikey Smith top left. I mean, he's just dumb. He doesn't actually pretend to be very smart at all. I think he just does silly things, and you know, like they're funny and they're stupid and silly, but I don't think I see him as actually behaving in a smart kind of way, or him thinking that he's actually smart.
No, true. Unlike others out there who very much think they are. So, yes. So some of those up the top of the list definitely in that sort of flat sort.
Yeah, I mean, like Whitsett pretends he knows everything. Yeah, like Whitsett, who pretends he knows absolutely everything about general and special relativity.
No. But he talks fast and throws some big words in, and that's good enough for him. Zero comprehension, but...
Well, it's always much easier to lie, isn't it?
That would seem.
That's right.
Well, sorry. It's always much easier to make shit up as you go along.
Yeah.
I'm just looking to
I've
see.
just done my invoice for the week. No one.
You got any money left over?
No wonder I had to put a new pair of front tyres on the car yesterday. Yeah.
A few miles.
No, haven't it though? Well, I pay some tax. I keep a spreadsheet of what I've invoiced every week, so I can tell you now that since April last year, I've done 12,000. 12,030 miles for my company.
Ooh.
And the tyres I put on yesterday, the ones that came off had done 15,470. So I've done about 3,000 miles for me over the last 10 months, and the rest of it has been for work. And there was 1 week mileage. Week 34, I did 755 miles in a week.
I used to
That's
do
ridiculous.
When I was surveying, we used to average about 1,000 kilometres a week travelling. Going out to people's places and stuff, like that, farms and things like that.
This week I've only been out twice, but I've still managed to clock 402 miles. That was going to Maplethorpe. That's nearly a 3-hour drive. You know, so do you work from home? Well, loosely, sort of, sometimes.
When you get round to it.
But yeah, it's been crackers since Christmas. It's just been it's all these poxy little jobs, but they are all winning 60 new stores a year, and they've just knocked that on the head. I don't know why, but they just have. Now they'd be lucky if they build a dozen.
Yeah, but is this completely new stores in completely new locations, or is this refurbing some old stores or moving old stores?
Well, if what I've done in the last year is anything to go by, it's probably 80% of them are brand spanking new buildings on maybe old sites. Like where I'm going next week at Foots Cray. There was an existing store, there was a raised parking area, and there was another building out the back of that. Well, that's all gone. They've flattened the whole lot and started again. So if it's either a greenfield site or a wipe clean and start again site, a brownfield site, I'd say that's probably about 80%. And then the other 20%, what they tend to be is they're new developments, but they're like the ground floor, and then you've got, say, 5 to 10 floors of apartments above it. So I've done several of them in the last year. So the majority of them are actually new builds. They're new stores. They did also have a refurbishment program all lined up. That's been squashed apparently as well. That's been knocked on the head. So somebody somewhere has had a bit of a rethink.
Yeah. Have you seen this? Or maybe it's just something I've seen a few times. This call that for seeing footage from a rocket taking off, and then seeing space. I don't know if you see it on the screen. I've got it up in Reddit, but I've seen it a few times in a few places where they're saying, "Oh, why don't they do this footage of rocket from ground to they call it ground to plane to space or something? I can't remember what they're calling it. And this is what this one's about. There's no footage in real life of taking off and doing this.
They do to a certain degree, but we see a similar thing from SpaceX all the time. Only A, they're not going that far away from Earth, and B, it doesn't happen that bloody quickly.
No. Well, also they don't take off and go straight
rockets
out.
going into space. Well, of course not. They don't go straight up because, my God, imagine the bloody fuel they need for that, and how big will the rocket be, and why would you do that in the first place? B, to get to that altitude above the Earth is going to take some time, and C, you ain't going to get there that bloody quickly. I mean, what's the equivalent speed of that if that was actually wasn't a graphic or wasn't speeded up? I mean that's warp factor plenty. Engage.
Yes.
So no, you're not going to see that in real life. Duh.
And there's definitely footage from rocket to orbit, and it's like, and then you go from orbit to, and not many go out this far, but it's like there's so much footage of the Earth. Like Himawari is not that far away from that image, that shot. That's every 10 minutes, new image.
Yeah. You've got a new image of the entire, well, obviously not the entire Earth because you can't see the other side because hey, it's a ball, but you can see that entire image taken every 10 bloody minutes. And it's like, well, what do you want? What proof would you actually accept? Because even if we sent you buddies up in space, you'd say it was fake.
So it's fake. Yeah, that's right.
And you can always tell who the religious ones are because, well, and the flat earthers who are religious, you can always tell that they're religious because they always make out that heliocentrism is some sort of religion.
Yeah,
because I find that very, very religious people automatically assume that everybody else has some sort of a religious belief system. They can't get it into their heads that no, I just don't have that sort of a belief system. Thank you very much.
Well, that's sort of come about
it's
from
an alien concept to them. They can't get their heads around it.
But that sort of come about from their attempts to, particularly when Antis and Genis and a few other ones tried to get their model, their creationism taught in schools, and it was ruled it was religious, and obviously you can't have you couldn't cross church and state in America, so you couldn't teach it because it was religion. So this whole thing sort of turned around to try and say, oh no. Well, first of all, they were trying to say, no, it's not a religion. And then people went to court and said, yeah, this is a religion. So there seemed to be a turnaround to start saying that all science was religion. And it, started with the paleontology and general evolution and stuff. And it's sort of gone into everything now that, anything scientific is a religion. And you need more faith. Well, no, you don't. Although majority of science isn't, rockets taking off. A lot of other things go on.
No, but science doesn't work on faith; it works on evidence.
Yes, exactly. And but it's like everything.
And evidence is the last thing you'll find in a religion.
Pretty much. Like I still haven't seen the ruby glasses from the what's his who's it Mormons ruby glasses and gold tablets, whatever they were. Oh, it's Mr. 42.
No idea
G'day,
what
Mr.
you're on
42.
about.
You don't know? Is it the Mormons that have the special teachings, and the guy can only read them because he found the tablets in the...
And special undies as well. Don't forget the special
Yeah,
undies.
yeah.
Have,
I'm pretty
have
sure
they,
that's
have,
Mormonism.
have they got a not so secret handshake?
Yeah, no. Something like
I've got a
that.
second-hand apron. I nearly got into Hendon.
What else is the flat earthers
Taking
going on?
life? What?
There is no clear image in astrophotography. So there you go.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think that's exactly true.
No.
Image stacking is not true imagery. It's cheating, apparently. So.
Is it?
Mm.
What about panoramic photos that my phone can take? Still a photo. Just a sequence of photos all sort of blended together.
What about video, which
But
is...
farmers, as that comes out of the... Sorry, Timbo.
You're right. Okay.
I was gonna say, as that comes out of the camera as one photograph, it's fine. It's my panoramas that are the problem, because I shoot all the frames individually and then stack them and then do them in the computer rather than have the camera do it itself.
Doesn't make any difference.
Nah.
And even composites, you know. Oh, it had to be photoshopped. It had to be, yes, because at the time we didn't have a satellite far enough away to take one single image of Earth. You had to composite.
But what
all
about
those separate images together? Yeah. Let's ignore the fact that we didn't have a satellite far enough away.
But that's Blue Earth 2. What about Blue Earth 1?
Still a bloody photo.
Blue Earth 1 was a
Blue
real photo.
Marble. Yeah, the original.
Yeah, Blue Marble.
The original,
Blue Marble
yes,
1
the
is original
Blue
photo.
Marble.
And it's only Blue
One
Marble
image,
2 that was they did touch
taken on negative film. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one that's made famous by iPhone.
Yeah. The real original Blue Marble is a one image negative. It's Blue Marble 2 that was the guy said, "Oh yes, I did. You know, it's a composite because they were trying to update it." And now they've got new ones anyway from the last Artemis mission and other satellites. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, of course, now we've got satellites that are far enough away in one go. But at the time, that Blue Marble 2 image, yeah, it was a composite image.
And it also, of course, depends on what sort of resolution you want from the image, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Because a lot of those satellites that are far enough away are still old enough that they don't have particularly high resolution sensors in them.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have huge sensors when they were built.
J.P. Morgan. Did he do anything of significance? I don't think he did he? Apart from having lots of money.
Yeah, made lots of money.
That's about it. Millionaires don't use astrologies, the billionaires do. Don't know
Nobody uses astrology for anything sensible or serious. Good grief.
Oh dear. Density and buoyancy. Oh, I'll see what the comments say. Will I bother looking into those? It'd be the usual rubbish.
It is your density.
Gravity curve, space-time exist.
You're right, gravity doesn't exist. That's about the only thing you got right, though. Water isn't level on Earth.
Well, how can that be on there and not get banned? That's unusual. This is Globe skepticism, which usually you don't see any comments staying on that sort of give anything.
No,
Surprised that one's on
I
there.
think I went in there once. Maybe
Yeah,
they're all still asleep and they haven't spotted it yet.
Because they usually go over to Flat Earth, right, which is just full of Globiers, mostly crooked Flat Earth. And you get the occasional person who drops in to try and
take the piss.
you get the occasional person in there to try and troll Flat Earthers. You say, nah, wrong channel.
Oh, that meme's nice. That post in there where it says, "This sums up Flirt perfectly."
Yes, it's all about faith. Yeah, it's pretty normal. You live here, and so, yes, we know that one.
Yeah. Third rock from the sun.
Oh yes, that's not a bad image. I like that one. Perspective according to Flat Earthers. Seagulls stay in the same size. Go on.
What's cutting the seagulls in half? Please tell me.
Yeah, but they're staying the same size too. As they get further away.
Angular compression, Rayleigh criteria, perspective. Help me out, Mr. Wybenger. What's the other shit that you say?
Angular perspective.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I don't usually try and watch his stuff, but I watched Gary's thing on Angular, and it was, that was bad.
Of course it was.
It was trying to argue. It's like he was trying to do this reverse maths, which just wasn't true. I was like, that effectively the building gets smaller. Like the one he was showing was a building. The building gets smaller. I was like, no, it's you're applying your angles, multiple angles from different viewing points into the one calculation. It doesn't work that way. Anyway, no big surprise there. Why no sunset? Oh, godly captain. The godly captain. Well, he was a tuber for a while, wasn't he? It's a bit north, obviously. They're at it again.
Oh, that's the one I was on about.
Which one? This one? Or...
No, lower down where it says source.
Oh, yeah. Let's go back. It's a bit slow tonight. Yeah. Source. Here we go. Source. Here you go. I don't want a source. I want you to be wrong. Yes. Yes.
Where's your evidence? Presents evidence. No, I don't know. No, not that evidence. Oh, God. Oh, it's delayed. Yeah. Oh.
I think it was something on Blue's server, I think it may have been. I can't remember. I've been following different Discords, so trying to keep track of what's on what. Someone saying about flat Earth and not being able to read, and they're saying, they can only read what they want to read. And I says, no, I think actually they can only read the length of a Google search bar, because they often search for something but don't bother to read the whole of the whatever that they find. They just find the words that say what they think it says. So, yeah, because so often you read either side or whatever it is they're looking at, and you say, oh no, it doesn't actually say what you think it says. Yes.
Well, that's typical flirt.
I've seen this a few times.
They just see what they want to see.
Yeah, I've seen this meme a couple of times with different things at the top. There's one. There's one I saw yesterday, I think, with the obviously a ship's captain had all these ship stuff up there. Yes, there is no footage that shows this in real life.
Yeah, flat Earth is basically telling them they're wrong. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. This was fun I could get. because I've seen the same thing of saying, "Oh, how do you explain this on the Globe Earth?" It's just, so many have no concept of what it means to be on the Globe Earth. It's just amazing.
No, they don't.
Yeah. Another Chinese spacewalk. Usual stuff after that. Usually gets a bit dull by the time you get down to here. You see stuff you've seen before. I don't think Lindsay's put anything new out. I was just looking. I think this was the same stuff we saw last week. Do you see No Black Hole in the Milky Way and Vacuum Cold Fusion? I think that's what we did last time, wasn't it? With that whole lot of text in the background.
Yeah, that's what we did last Saturday.
Yeah, that was 12 days ago. Yeah, so nothing new from Lindsay. I don't try not to follow anyone else's actual flat earthers. What have we got?
Yeah, well, you see, there's a knack to that. If I can give a shout out to Mr. 42 in his Discord server.
Yeah.
There is a separate part that's called the Gates to Tartarus. Now, if you look in the subsection that's called Grebulons, that is basically all the latest posts from all the flat earthers.
Okay.
So the very latest one, oh my god, the very latest one in there posted at 10:35 this morning, so less than an hour ago. Brian's Logic, Wally's Black Swan.
Do I not have Mr. 42?
So if you want to see what the flurfers are up to, go to Mr. 42's Discord server, go to Gates of Tartarus, and you've got Grebulons, Viltvodal 6, and Mostly Harmless. Now, Mostly Harmless, you'll generally find Mud Fossil University, and unfortunately Gina Maria Colville Hill, who is completely mental. Utterly, and a few others in there as well, but they're the main ones. But yeah, if you look in Grebulons, that's all the flat earthers. So he's got his bot set up to show you when the flat earthers are.
Can you post it in the chat? Because I don't have Mr. 42. I thought I did, but I don't. I'll put him on my Discord.
Let's get a link and bung it in.
Put it in the YouTube chat since Mr. 42's out there. And
I heard my name.
Hello, Mr. 42. How are you?
There he is.
There he
Hello.
is. Oh,
Hello.
Mr. 42.
I was actually listening to Timo's stream. And
Yeah.
suddenly hear my name.
You did. You have been praised as a good source for
I-
flirt
Somebody say
material.
I've just arrived himself.
Oh, good day.
Somebody say it 3 times.
Yeah.
I have to say that the Grebulons is my go-to room when you want to see what all the idiots have posted, as in the flat Earth idiots.
Yeah, a little addition to that statement that he just made. I have those channels indeed. They are available to anyone, but by default they are hidden because it's a bit too spammy for the average user. If you are in my server, you can go to rules and walls, type something there that's written, and then you have access to it. It's Register Gargle Blaster. That is the name.
There you go. I got the link that Tank Man,
So.
Farmer's Boy, put up. So that's on there. I thought I had your server up before, your Discord server up before, but obviously I didn't. Yeah, well, I do now. So there you go. Where am I looking?
Yeah, Timbo, you left about 2 or 3 weeks ago. For some reason, I don't know.
No, I don't recall doing
Maybe
that.
you're cleaning up. It happens.
I don't think I've ever deleted anybody. Anyway, I must have been an accident. I have had my cat do things to my... Because my cat gets up and sleeps on my keyboard. And I've come back to find lots of things happening.
That'll do it. That'll do
That's
it.
the best excuse I've heard. Yeah, it was my cat's fault.
I had
When I say 2 or 3 weeks ago, I noticed that. No, I noticed that time flies because it was on 19th of November.
There you go.
There you go. Slightly more than 2 or 3 weeks ago, then.
That's why I went to look for it, and I thought, where are you?
Time
You
flies,
don't do
mate. Time flies.
It certainly does.
Oh, hang on. I've got to complete before I can
Must
talk.
admit, I very rarely leave Discord servers. They just end up down at the bottom. you tend to have all the ones that you commonly go to up at the top, top left, and the ones that really don't happen, they tend to be down at the bottom. But I very rarely leave a Discord server.
No, well,
You know
why
that you
would
can
you?
actually put the Discord. Did you know you can put your Discord servers actually in folders?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to see everything there without having to click on something else and look for it in there and I mean, I generally only go in probably regularly 3 or 4 servers in any given week. Pardon me.
There we go.
At
So,
the moment, usually it's just blues.
so what was I looking for before? You had some good spots to find the latest things that Flurfus had done. Where was that? That was... it's not
Gate
there.
to Tartarus,
Gate to Tartarus.
Oh,
down below Harley's Corner.
go to rules and roles.
Rules and rolls. Let's go. That's why. Because I haven't
Yeah.
got to
That-
put
yes.
myself back in. I was thinking, I'm
Then
sure
you-
I'd seen it.
You can copy.
Go on.
Yeah, then you can copy that register thingy in the beginning. The
I
gargle
can't
block.
see, I can't
That
see
should
what you're
fix you.
sharing
I can't either.
for some reason.
It's gone. Yeah, but you can see it on the live stream. If you count the live
Oh,
stream,
Yeah, you
okay.
go.
Hang
You
on.
can't
Oh,
see it here
I know. Hang on. Let
some
me fix
bizarre
that.
reason.
Can't see it in here.
Yeah, I think I know why.
Yeah.
Give me
Easy
2
below
seconds.
it.
There you
Yeah.
go.
And suddenly you have a few channels on the bottom.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was. You should be able to see
Thoughts
it
added, you
now.
know.
And if I go back to here,
I just tried for the average user to not be too spammy, and
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
bots
that's-
post a lot of videos there.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So that
'Cause
must be a decision they make for themselves.
so because I did that before, I'm sick of it as a gargle blaster. So there we go. And then, if you wish to
Yeah,
ride
there you
Harley, I got to do this one. So let's do this one. So anyone out there in YouTube watching, this is what you got to do. So,
Oh, that's weird. What you're sharing here in Discord is a bit weird. As we still can't see what you're sharing. We just
Yeah,
got
no,
one
give me a
screen,
sec.
but
It's 'cause
I know
I'm
you're on
in-
a different screen.
because I'm in a different Discord server, and I think it's gone a bit funny. Give me 2 seconds. I'll just sneak back
Yeah.
here.
Now you
And
remove the
stop
Twitter
there.
from Harley.
Yeah, hang on 2 seconds. I'll go back. I'll just stop streaming and stream my window rather than. Let's try again. So, can you see that?
It doesn't really matter though.
No, but I'm just checking. Yeah, there you go. So now you can see what I'm doing again.
Yeah, you can see that.
I think because I'd streamed YouTube before, because I was doing the actual window. I was doing the program and not the window. So, getting back to, where was I? Mr. 42 is up the top, because that's where he belongs, at the top of the pile. I successfully removed Harley's corner from Timbo. You can, what's that do to me? If you wish to hide Harley's corner, I don't want to wish to hide Mr. Harley. Why did I do that?
I even say, please don't do this, as it will make Harley sad, and then you do it. Now we have a sad Harley.
They distracted me. Oh, I gotta blame somebody else. Let's blame Matt.
Oh, you really? You can't.
No, don't copy that one. You did that one. No, not this one. The other one. No, stop.
Stop. I've stopped.
Oh, he does it. He does it anyway. Yeah. Now you remove the channels again.
I've removed the channel server.
So paste it again.
Paste it again. Yeah.
Yeah. Paste it again.
See, I'm a
press
Discord
enter.
expert. I'm a Discord
Yeah, we
expert.
could tell.
Oh, what a mess.
I just push the buttons on the side and see what comes up.
Why is there an echo?
Yeah, you can hear in the Discord where you're sharing the Discord. You can actually hear us twice. That's why I stopped,
okay.
Watching.
Because I can't see
Yeah,
you. Hang on a
Don't
second.
know why.
If I do that, you won't hear me though. Hang on. That's because I'm doing Discord to Discord.
If we just mute it, we're okay.
Yeah, we just need to mute it. Right. True.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it in Timbo.
Nah, it's okay. I'll put some YouTube. We'll do something else little bit. I haven't done much in Discord on the streaming, so I'm not sure what does what through OBS. Okay.
On the left side, you have the Grubulans, the Bottle 6,
So what was I go to this
and
one,
so on.
and then we can see who. So what's good? I did notice that Toon's first lots of videos used to be coffee with Flurfer, so this guy's taken similar sort of go. Farmers are in trouble. Why on earth did God let this happen? Mm-hmm.
If you want the flat Earth stuff, you want Grubulons.
Grubulons, yes. I try and stay away from Mr. Herbert, whatever his name is.
Yes, please.
Hovind.
Hervins. Yeah,
Technically, it's Kent, but it comes out different.
Well, see, when the Queensland mob started Ansys and Genesis and whatever they call themselves originally, I can't remember, before they left and went over to the States, I knew a lady who was very much got into that, and she fed me a whole lot of their material, and I read through it all and realised it was all a big con. And then they went over there, and he's sort of an off-spin of that group of con men, so I don't like him at all.
Mm.
I can't imagine that was much more than you'd expect. Flatsoid versus FTFE. I still don't get why Toon and FTFE seem to like Flatsoid. Maybe because he doesn't swear at him, I don't know.
It has a lot of comedy value.
Maybe.
Why
why.
do they think they like flat? They like Flatsoid for top left? You mean?
No, not for top left.
Or
Just,
they just
several times they've commented that he's a nice flat earther, and
No, he's
I
not.
know not a lot of other people who
well.
don't like that.
Well, I mean, he's not horrible. He doesn't go around like some that like shout and swear at you and just act like a dickhead. He's just an idiot, and he really is. I mean, he doesn't. I mean, you take Flatsoid out of Flat Earth, right? If he wasn't a flat earther, he'd still be an idiot because he's just thick as two short planks. It's simple as that.
Yeah.
That's why so many people are pushing him for top left because he's
He's an
the
idiot.
epitome, I think. Yeah, he's just an idiot. He's thick.
What? Brian's logic sadly passed away. Is this one worth watching?
I've not watched that. No. You'll find also all of these channels. They've all every video's got a subheading.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I
Flatsoid
added to the bot.
Yeah.
That is my text.
That's it.
That's your text. So
It's Failsoid Unlimited. Right.
I assume this is on the.
Logic
John?
is always branch logic, sadly, part.
So I figure that is that on the
Remember rightly
Falcon Heavy,
exactly what's going on.
because I find his maths is
I would think so.
very interesting.
You have to click on the title of the video.
Yeah, no, I was gonna do it. A different
Otherwise,
way,
you
but
get the. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just putting it out into real YouTube, and then no, that's no better.
Yeah,
I'll do it in
branch
yours.
logic and maths
Let's do it here.
don't really go together.
Come on. No, he's not going to do it.
Don't click on the image. That will only show you the image.
Yeah, okay. I'm with you. As I said, expert skills being taught here.
Oh yeah.
What do we push that one? Yeah?
Yeah, that would be the right thing to do. Yeah.
Now, you guys probably won't be seeing this. What I might do is just do a little flicky stuff around in OBS. I'll send my channel out so that whatever I'm putting up on YouTube you see, and share that in Discord. You may need to adjust. Let's do this. As I said, this is what I'm doing, is to learn the skills of a YouTuber. Right, let's stop sharing. And put my video up. There you go. Turn camera on. Transition to there. There you go. Let me play that one. I'll see what.
Well, how are you doing? Okay.
You can hear that? You can hear that?
Okay, I'm gonna leave Discord. I'm gonna be listening in the stream.
Oh, great.
See you later.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, mate.
See you later, mate.
You guys can hear that?
This is something I
Tom?
don't normally do, but I felt the need to do it. I'm making a second video about
You
where's
what?
Wally's.
No,
You
you
what?
can't hear
You're not
that.
sharing.
You might
not
have
sharing anything.
to. Hang on, I know. I am. Oh, no, you'd have to look at my actual strip videos in Discord.
Oh, well, yeah, you need to go on to
Yeah.
Timbo. Yeah,
Yeah,
but we
go to
still won't
Timbo.
be able to hear it, though.
Hang on, I can fix that, I think. If I go into here, go to here.
I'll try it, actually. Just try it, Timbo, because...
No, I'm just
I
changing
think the
the
thing to
input
that.
device to that one. Can you hear that? Can you hear me?
We haven't pressed play.
No,
not
but you can
playing
hear
anything.
me. No, but you can hear me, which means because this is coming out.
Oh, you can hear you. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm just checking because I just
Yeah.
switched mics. So let's push play and see if you can hear that.
Falcon Heavy globe claim, because the first
Tell
video
me if you can.
was really just to put it to bed.
Only
which
for
it
sure,
should
Yeah,
have
sure,
just
yes.
about.
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
little quiet, but
Of course, our opposition,
Oh,
Wally
turn it up a little.
included, is being dishonest. They're not conceding when they should concede. Blah 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 blah. Right, the usual nonsense.
That's fine. That's fine. Don't go any louder. Don't go any
So,
louder.
I'm going to completely put it to bed this time around. Basically, it's a rocket.
Oh,
launch
they're still
that
going on
happened
about this.
the
Jesus.
15th of January, some weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and there is different video of this from different places, and Wally is trying to claim globe proof, right? And the funny thing is that the very thing he's trying to claim is globe proof, the very observation he's trying to use is the blurriest observation, and it's a point on the observation that's super blurry. But I've gotten around that, let's just say. So what I will ask you to do is I have to go through some stuff here, and I'm hoping it won't be too long of a video, probably about 20 or so minutes. But wait for the end, because the end is going to be the
How
crescendo.
long is it?
This is going to really make our opposition sick in the stomach, and it's what they deserve, because
Really?
they are not able to be honest with themselves or anyone else. So it's not our fault. We're just trying to get to the truth of the natural world we live in, and we have this group of people who keep on holding on to this.
No, you're not.
model, like mathematical model
Just fucking joking.
No, you're not.
based on the horizontal plane that we know we exist upon. So it's stupid, but we have no choice. So I don't normally do these kind of things. I normally avoid these stupid videos, but it's just
What?
I feel
Don't
the
they
need to
do it
do
all
it
the
because there's just not honesty going on out there.
He
there's-
makes stupid
I've already
videos.
had Wally trying to create straw man arguments against me. It's just like, if you have an argument, you shouldn't need a straw man. Simple. I don't mind someone using the straw man just to get somewhere in a debate. Grand. If you want to do that, grand. If you get called out on it, you get called out on it. But if you want to use a straw man, you got to make it smart, right? But if you're in a position where you're supposed to have proof of something and you need to use a straw man, it means you don't have a proof. It means
What's the straw man that Wally's done? Because isn't Wally just saying you say it's a flat Earth?
No, I mean,
You
he
have
hasn't
got
used a straw man at all
not
because
proof.
he's stuck to
There's a
actually
difference. It's
everything and
got
he's
proof.
addressed everything that they've actually talked about.
Yeah,
So I don't know what he's going on about.
and they said you.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
he's just he's just as dishonest as a lot of them are. He's saying that, oh, you know, we're just trying to get to the bottom of the truth. Horse shit. He's trying to find a narrative to actually win the argument. That's all it is. It's a narrative. It's got nothing to do with the truth with him at
So
all.
you don't need all those
Absolutely
tactics.
nothing.
You know, you don't need them. If you're not debating, you're not going to need them. You just put it
Oh yeah, blah 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 blah.
horizon when the Falcon Heavy is 23 kilometers in the air, 14.29 miles, just over 14 miles. So what they're saying is you're not seeing it in Myrtle Beach 365 miles away until it's 14 miles high in the sky. And they're trying to claim that that takes 1 minute and 33 seconds, right? So there's a minute and 33 seconds of you not being able to see it, supposedly, blah, 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 right? Now, I'm going to pull all that apart.
I suppose it about it.
And show that there's actually deception and trickery going on here.
Well, there was
And as I said, the
trees and things and the way in buildings and all the rest of it as well, wasn't there?
No, well, they used
like a city or something, wasn't there? If I remember rightly.
Yeah, but Wally used 2 videos. There's one from Myrtle Beach, which is pretty much looking straight down the coast, and it doesn't have any trees or anything in. And then there's the other one that's...
yeah, but he's talking about the...
Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking about the one that was the furthest away, and if I remember rightly, there was like a whole load of buildings and a city and a town and trees and all the rest
Just
of it.
on a different note of Brian's logic, isn't a moil the Jewish guy that cuts the foreskin off a penis?
I think you're right, yeah. Yeah.
What the hell's a sky moil?
He knows lots of them too.
Sky moil.
He talks about lots of moils. Must live in a Jewish community.
But anyway, we'll see in a minute.
We shouldn't
anyway.
have to do this if people are able to be honest, but they're not, right? So we're going to go ahead. So this is the fork and heavy, right? This is the one, 230 feet. That's its length, right?
Yeah.
Fork and heavy.
Again, right? Fork and 9, right? This is the biggest fork and, right? This is the biggest of all of them, right? Maybe they're all around that size. Here you are. This is then fork and 9V 1.8, whatever. So that's probably the most recent one. So 230, where are we here? Height 230 feet, right? So its length is 230 feet, right? So 230 feet of a mile, right? 365.45 miles away. The size of so 230 feet of a mile is 0.043 of a mile. So it's 0.043 of a mile. And if we calculate the angular size of that, it's 0.006. Now, that's nothing.
Yeah.
The human eye, right, the average human eye has a limit, a diffraction limit, let's just say, or an angular resolution limit of 0.02. So that would be 0.0 and a 2 here instead of 0.
I can see where I think he's going to go with this, but that would require that when you can see the rocket had to be a lot closer to you. Yeah? Let's see where that goes.
Right.
So, yeah. I could see what he's going to try and claim that you can't see the rocket. Yeah, but let's see where that goes.
That is not based on a distance. That's based on literally you having something right in front of you on your desk, something very small, and you barely being able to see it, right? Barely being able to see it. Like, that is your 0.0.
He's talking about the diffraction limit. Or what is it? Diffraction limit? Whatever it is. 0.0.
No, it's a Rayleigh criterion.
Rayleigh criterion. But as
that thing that Gary doesn't understand.
Yeah. I think he called it the diffraction limit.
I know that doesn't narrow it down.
Is that what he called it? Let's see.
That is not based on a distance of no. The human eye, right, the average human eye has a limit, a diffraction limit, let's just say, or an angular resolution limit of 0.02. So that would be 0.0 and a 2 here instead of 0. That is not based on a distance. That's based on literally you having something right in front of you on your desk, something very small, and you barely being able to see it, right? Barely being able to see it. Like, that is your 0.02 angular resolution limit. That's for the average human eye. Some people might have it a little bit better, some people a little bit worse. The average is 0.02. So, some people have better eyesight in one way than others, and some people have all around better eyesight. Some people are like hawks, other people, they're like moles. You know what I mean? What can you do? And it's just the way it is. We all have different attributes and drawbacks. The average is 0.02, which means that is based on you being able to see something in front of you, right, at close range, as small as you can see it, right?
No.
That is what that's based on. That's not based on looking at something that's 365 miles away, right?
Based on looking at something 5,000 billion light years away, for God's sakes. It doesn't matter how far away it is.
No.
No, it's just how small it is before you can.
That's the angle you can see. Yeah.
Yeah.
So straight away you have to ask yourself, if this is what the ballers have, is we should be seeing a rocket that is 0.0067 degrees at 365 miles away, right? Because they're trying to say we are seeing it just on the horizon, but we're not seeing the rocket. We're seeing the afterburn, all the combustion out into
what?
the air. That's what we're seeing. All the
Afterburn?
fire out of the rocket. All the
Smoke, the fire, the flame, the fumes.
Yeah, you are seeing the very bright plume coming out the back end of the rocket. Yes, that's what you see. You don't
Yeah.
see the rocket.
Yeah,
Not
rocket's too bloody small at that
365
distance.
away.
And that's
Yeah.
what the no
That
one's
big
saying.
bright light of the rocket engines burning away.
Yeah,
Yes, you can see that very well.
Exactly. It's essentially a point source at that point.
Yep.
And that's what Wally did, was match up what the plumes were doing in the different videos. So yeah.
the fuel being burned. That's what
Yeah.
we're seeing, and it's a massive amount because like they have these big boosters on them, or whatever, that brings them up in the air, and they're just full
But-
of fuel. All they are is big fuel tanks. That's basically what they are, big fuel tanks. And what we're
other-
seeing is
The other thing this dipshit is missing is that those pictures are being made through telescopes.
Yes. So they're magnified.
His angular resolution, his angle thing is all out of whack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see where it's going. We'll
Because you
see.
should be using the aperture of the telescope.
We'll see where it's going.
massive amounts of fuel being burnt into the air.
At least he's
That's
not
what
saying
we're
it's a
seeing.
big
We're not seeing the
balloon
rocket
like
because you could not
Dave.
see the
What's
rocket.
he-
So you can't determine where the rocket is in relation to the horizon as far as the rocket itself, because it's only 0.006 degrees from a distance of 365 miles, right? So you're not going to see it. You're just not going to see the rocket. That's just the way it is. They're too far away to see that rocket. You know, that's just the way it is. The
Yeah,
rocket's
we know
too
that.
small.
Yeah.
So now that we got that out of the way, and just want you to remember that as we go on in this video. So a couple of small things here. This won't matter at the end. You'll understand at the end, right? Wally's Black Swan mess.
Oh, yeah.
Right? The original video, right? Video of the rocket from Myrtle Beach. The rocket is seen at 1 minute 22, right? And the original video of from Myrtle Beach in South Carolina, I had it wrong. I thought it was in Florida actually, but I know now it's in South Carolina. It's seen on that video at 1 minute 22. I'm going to link the videos into the description. You can see the videos. I will link the video. I'll link the video that has all the links in it. That's what I'll do. Which is the video with all the screens on it, right? But which is this one, the collage video. The collage video rocket, right, is seen at 1 minute 33 to 1 minute 34. So from Myrtle Beach, they're saying that somebody standing in Myrtle Beach, is seeing the rocket just on the horizon. This is what they're trying to claim, right? At 1 minute 33 to 1 minute 34. But in the original video, it's 1 minute 22, right? The Folly Beach, South Carolina, 280 miles away rocket, seen at an undisclosed time. And I'll show you that in a minute, as the video is darkened and out of focus until 1 minute 33 on the timer. So this video here, the Folly Beach video, the rocket is already well into the sky before we get to see it. We don't get to see at what time it came up over the horizon. I'm not saying the person did it on purpose. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I have no idea. The point is, we don't get to see that. So we don't get to see what happened at 280 miles away, because we see the rocket well up in the sky at 1 minute 33, because they're showing it at the same time as the original video from the one that they're using from Myrtle Beach. Then we have the Wrightsville Beach in North Carolina, 420 miles away. That rocket is not shown in collage video until 2 minutes 12, but it is well up in the sky at the stage. So when rocket was originally seen in Wrightsville, North Carolina, is not disclosed. So both the Folly Beach and Wrightsville Beach observations, the rockets are already well up in the sky. So we have no idea at what time they were seen, originally seen at the horizon. We don't know when that was because it's not being disclosed. Now I'm going to show these two videos just to prove that it isn't on their videos. I have the videos that's linked in the collage video, and it just shows them exactly as is shown by the collage. Now I find that a bit funny. Now maybe it's just people videoing them on their phone, maybe not. I would say this is something that people they're obviously there to see this, so they're going to make sure they're ready to record. I would say people would be recording all the way prior to, as well, of how well they can.
Bluff, 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 bluff.
So that will give you the quality. The quality will
Bluff, 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 bluff,
out
bluff.
there and just start videoing, be there to video it, and then just
Blah, 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 blah.
right. I show something. Now, all this is all good, but this is only this is only the end bit is just the crescendo, right? This is, I just want to make a big fuss. This is altitude 1 kilometer, right? So it's 1 kilometer, right? And it can be seen here in Palm City, Florida, from 105 miles away. You can just see it. You can literally see it on the horizon. Now this is from a drone, so it's up a bit in the air, but it doesn't matter. And I'll show why in a minute. It won't matter too much. But you can see it there.
It does matter, Brian.
Too much. It might matter too much.
And it's 20 seconds into the video already. So that's 20 seconds in, and it's already 1 kilometer, right? So exit full screen. So if we come to here, so 1 kilometer. Sorry, is that the right one? Let's see which one have I got here. I have the wrong one.
Now what's he doing?
He's got a tag up for each of his
sorry,
numbers he's typed in, so he doesn't have to type them in again.
Sorry, now, yeah. So,
how many has you got open?
Just type in the number and push go.
1 kilometer right in the sky. Sorry, I was mixing this up.
I'm pretty sure Brian's mother was a goat and his father is still under suspicion of animal cruelty.
0.09 of a degree. When it's 1 kilometer up, and that's 20 seconds into the video. So their claim originally was that it took 133 seconds, 133 to 134 seconds, to be able to see the rocket from Myrtle Beach. This is what Wally and
No, that's the time that they could see the light from the rocket, not the rocket itself. But yeah, gone.
yeah, we're claiming, right? Now I don't want to be normally dressing this kind of nonsense, but I feel it's necessary because there's blatant deception going on here, right? So from 0.262 of a mile, right,
Yeah, there is right now.
it's the degree of that, and you have to remember this is based on the height of the rocket above sea level. So that amount of distance, it's not the rocket, it's the height of, so it's an angular size of that from that distance, right? So it's 0.09 degrees, right? So then we come to 2 kilometers. That's 29 seconds in. That's 29 seconds in, right? And it's 2 kilometers in the sky at 29 seconds in, because it's accelerating. It starts off at 363 kilometers, and then when it gets to 2 kilometers, it's 510 kilometers an hour in speed, right? That's at 29 seconds, right? You should be able to see that. I don't think I need to make every screen big. So if we come to here, this is 2 kilometers, 1.24, right, miles. So 2 kilometers at that distance is 0.19 degrees.
Hey, is he changing that number based on the height?
I think so. Yeah.
But the angular size isn't going to change because
I
of
don't
the
know
height.
what he. No, it doesn't. No. Unless he's using the height above sea level. I don't know what he's doing.
No, well, that's how
I
I'm.
don't think he
you
knows
go.
what he's doing.
No.
He doesn't know what he's
So
doing.
0.19 degrees, that's absolutely nothing. You're not going to hardly be able to see anything, especially through all the air and it being kind of morning time.
blah blah blah
But
blah.
it's only 2 kilometers in the sky, and your angle to it is only 0.19 degrees from Myrtle Beach at that point. So that's 1 kilometer. This is 2 kilometers. Let's try 3 kilometers. So
You can't see it.
3 kilometers in the sky at 35 seconds.
You still can't see
35
it.
seconds
It's
into
below.
the video.
Below the horizon.
That's that is 1/3
Below the curvature of the Earth, Brian.
They're claiming it took them.
That's why you don't see it.
I think he's trying to argue something about you won't be able to see it because it's not high enough, but you're going to see the light if it was above the horizon. Let's just. I think that's where he's going. I'll just see with it because this is just the same diff. Come on. What are we at? 4.
Oh.
Keep going. Sorry, Alan, you were going to say?
If you're considering being able to resolve the rocket as an image with the naked eye, as he's trying to do there,
yeah,
or with anything, to be honest, you don't consider how tall the rocket is. You consider how wide the rocket is, because if you can't resolve if you can't resolve the narrow dimension, it doesn't matter how damn tall it is, does it? You still can't resolve it widthwise.
Yes. So, yeah, I think he's. I don't know what he's on about. Anyway, we're at the crucial point. We'll see what he says here.
In the comments on my last video on this, he said it was at orbital velocity. Now that would mean there's a couple of different types of orbit, but orbital. Which one is that then? Orbital velocity. Does that mean it's that there should be a rotation underneath it, or is it going to rotate with the globe? Which is it? Because there's no rotation been happening. There's no in any of the calculations here. You can't show anything about the Earth moving. There's no evidence of the Earth moving in any way, shape, or form. All you have is the calculations for the altitude based off of the time. That's all you have. And going on the speed and the acceleration, there is the only acceleration that's going on there is the rocket. No acceleration of any other kind whatsoever. And the rocket is going east. That's something else I didn't even go into. But
so it's going through all sorts of rubbish, which is completely unrelated, but you still can't see the rocket in that Palm, Florida one, or the Summer, whatever that is, the one on the Myrtle Beach, Palm City. So can't really see it anywhere in those ones, and it's already 1 minute 34. So I assume he's trying to argue. We'll see what he says when the rocket actually appears. Or can you see the rocket there? Oh, you can see the rocket in that one. But it still hasn't appeared on the other one. Okay. Go back. I reckon he's just nothing to it.
I mean, if this not even, it's only 7.7 degrees. That's all it's calculated as being. So that would easily be about that and more. So that's over 100 miles of flat straight away. They are proven. So let's move on again. So this is from Wide Awake. Now Wide Awake is on our side, and Wide Awake is 115 miles away, and this is what he is seeing at 115 miles. So 115 miles away, this is what Wide Awake is seeing. You can go back and see the collage video. You would see that's what he's seeing. So 115 miles, 14.29 miles of altitude is just over 7 degrees. He's definitely seen something, and like he had.
Yeah, he's using the height to determine the size of what he can see. He's an idiot.
Yeah. Quite a typical Brian, isn't it?
Yeah. Looks like it goes on with that. I don't think we've learnt anything here.
No. Well,
I think we did.
We just confirm that Brian is an idiot. That's all.
Yes. What do we got? Turn this back to there. Ah, dear. I don't know. how many people we got watching? Let's have a look. I got 11.
10. How do you
10.
get 20% of your subs watching? Boy, if I could do that, we'd have 1,700 or 700 people. Or, oh,
Only
geez,
10.
we'd have
Only
1,400 people.
I got up to 12. Good.
Yeah, well, I find the more subscribers you get, the less the percentage you get viewing.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
No, I was going to see.
When you've got a dozen subs, it's really easy to get 100% of your subs to watch it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, the more subscribers you get, the less percentage of views you get compared to your subscribers.
Yeah.
yeah, I do good to get 150.
Yeah, well, when I've
At
only
one
got 50.
time, I've done live streams where I've had more people viewing than I've had subs.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's where you want to be. Where you can say, oh, look.
Yeah, but I mean, at the time, I had like 50 subs
Uh-huh.
and a couple of hundred viewing.
Nah, well, I was going to see. It's the turtle picture. Yes, it is. I was going to see whether Paul wanted to do his quiz or he wants to leave it up to him. I don't know if he's still there. Don't know if he's there.
Yeah, it's probably not enough people to do the quiz, really. Is there?
No, it's only 12. What do we usually get?
Keep it in reserve.
Keep it in
Yeah,
reserve.
and remember, 6 of those are probably us, Timbo.
Yes.
I know. It's okay. I'm just checking.
Yeah.
We won't do that. Let's see what else we got. I was going to say.
I'm doing a live stream later on today,
Are you?
Oh yeah.
4 o'clock my time, which will be 11. Yeah, which will be 11 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, it's called Not the Early Bird Live Show. Doing it every Saturday.
4 o'clock. Oh.
Yeah, 4 p.m.
Oh, that's good because kickoff's not till 4:45.
Also, you get 45 minutes. It's
Yeah.
got about an hour and a half sort of thing. See how it goes. I'm doing a little breakdown of the debate between Kyle Adams and T Jump on the moon landings debate that they had.
Oh.
And
Oh,
like a little
God, not
break blind. I mean, I've listened to both their intros and stuff, but that's all I've listened to so far. But I haven't actually seen the rest of the debate, so it's going to be interesting. So I thought we'd have a look at it and have a little bit of a laugh at it and whatever.
Yeah, I might be able to join you for some of that before they start throwing egg-shaped balls again.
Throwing stuff at you?
Oh, who's playing today? Then
We've got Ireland versus France at 2:15. Then we've got Scotland versus Wales at 4:45, and then England are playing Italy tomorrow afternoon at 3.
Who England lost last week against?
Yes.
Who did they lose against?
They lost against Scotland.
Scotland. That's it. Yeah.
They made too many mistakes, and I'm afraid at this caliber of rugby, you can't afford to keep making mistakes.
I think there was a.
You can't keep giving the ball away.
There's about 5 or 6 points in it, wasn't there? Was it a try in it or something? Wasn't a lot in
The
it.
score was 29-23 to Scotland. So
Yeah.
there's only a couple of penalties in it, 6 points. What was interesting was the Italy-France game. That was very close. That's the closest they've been for a long time. So if England played like they did last week, Italy stand a chance of beating them.
Oh, what you're about to bring up now, Timbo, is not very much because
No. It's only,
I kind of
Talk over it,
SpaceX
so.
decided to do a live stream literally at the last second. My vMix wasn't working, so I had to resort to OBS, and I had to quickly set it up and I buggered up the sound.
it's all right. I haven't turned the sound on. Here's your chance to talk over it.
Quick, hello.
So
What?
you didn't. I mean, in SpaceX stream writing off the you didn't hear an awful lot, and it's a very very quick a static fire test, very very quick.
So that's why it's got no head on it, right? Because I was going to ask why it doesn't have a top on the rocket.
Yeah, it's just the booster.
Because it's not going to launch.
Yeah, that's the first. That's basically the first stage, the booster stage.
It's a lot of smoke.
That's all they're testing because it's got 33 Raptors on it. Raptor engines. So that was the first time they were going to test like what they call full thrust, I guess. But one of the engines they shut down before the static fire, and one actually failed upon ignition for whatever reason.
Oh, okay. I was going to say it's a bit like.
So yes, that was it. There you go. What you just saw, that was it.
That was all. I was going to say it's a bit like those.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
You know when you have those fireworks and you light them and all the smoke and you think something's going to happen and then the fuse just burns out the bottom and
nothing. Yeah, a little bit like that. Yeah.
Oh, yes. and then ball. Yeah, Russia versus Ukraine. That game's been dragging on for a while now.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, all they're looking to do is whether the engines can spin up and get to full thrust, and then that's it. That's all they need to know, and then shut down. That's it. Bang, done. That's how long it takes.
Well,
does it work? Yes. Oh, that's right then.
Well, I mean, the fact that 2 engines didn't, but I mean, as Elon tweeted, he said that it's designed to, it still would have made orbit, or so he claims.
Yeah.
Which is not surprising. Out of 33 engines, I'm sure there's a redundancy. They probably could fail, 3 or 4 engines to fail. They could probably still carry on, maybe. But whether they're going to still launch in March, it seems that they would do, because Elon Musk didn't seem too concerned. He said it still would have made to orbit, so hopefully you will see an orbital test launch in March.
Yes.
I suppose depends on why those engines shut down to begin with. I guess if they found some sort of weird anomaly which they've not seen before, which case then they might take a little bit of time to investigate it. If it's just something standard, they've some commonality of some sort, then not an issue. Seen it before, not a problem. We'll fix it. Away we go.
Now we saw your flat Earth black holes. Sorry, your black holes suck video, didn't we? I think we were able to get that in.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. I haven't made another one since.
No, so
it's a bit difficult because it's finding some quiet time in this house to do it. It's kind of difficult.
I can imagine.
Well, it's not so much quiet time that I'm saying that people that live here are noisy. It's the fact that it's not fair on me to expect people to be quiet while I'm recording a video or doing a live. Certainly on Saturdays, my stepson and my missus go out on a Saturday. Usually they go around town, so it gives me a chance to do a live. So that's the only time I'm doing it. So I thought I'd do a live on a Saturday instead of recording a video. But my stepson's been on holiday this week, so so he's been in the living room doing stuff and all the rest of it. Unfortunately, I don't have a little studio room or anything. What's this? You playing the Legos? What's this?
Oh, just putting it on while we're chatting. I like these Lego ones. This is Infinite Lego Domino.
All right.
So obviously that's dominoes. Now he wants to make one that goes constant.
All right.
Yeah. So he'll make 50 million. This guy must have some money because I can see how much Lego he's got already.
Oh yes, I know the guy you're talking about now. Yeah.
So,
he does these all the time, doesn't he? And he seems to have a whole lot of shapes all the time.
So there's $30 worth of Lego just in front of us.
Yeah.
And he's going to repeat that.
Don't forget, a lot of the Lego he's got is like normal standard shapes, so he's probably had those for a long time. Some of them are not.
When you got mass, I know what it costs to get sort of mass Lego. I'm just going to push that forward a little bit.
Oh yeah. I know. Trust me, I know as well. I'm fully aware. So, well, I'm just saying that some of the shapes that he's got are standard shapes, which
it's not the
collection.
Yeah, that's the block I was going there. Let's see where he's going with this.
Yeah, I can as well. Now we're playing with your Lego. Mr. 42's back.
Yeah, this is this is very funny. I watched this video just before I started watching this live stream. Timo, turn on the captions. He has explanations that is not in the audio.
Okay, hang on.
He explains everything, what he's doing and why he's doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just wanted to say that. Bye-bye.
He wants to see the caption. Where's the captions? Go on. Tell me. Ah, there we go.
There you go.
It's getting there. Those aren't Nick's.
Oh, I see. So the little shuttle on the track is going to put them back up again once they've fallen, and that's going to follow behind. There you go.
That's quite a clever one. That's something you'd see at one of the Lego conventions, and they might win. Oh,
Yeah.
He's going to put a motor on it. I think this is the plan. Time to automate. See, I reckon there.
Good engineering, isn't it? You know.
Yeah. There's still a few $100 worth of Lego in there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
What's he doing? Oh, right. Yeah, this is. That's the sensor off for the
Infrared sensor used to monitor the state of the domino up and down.
Yeah, using his what have I got a mental block? His Mindstorm. That's the word I'm looking for. Mindstorm. That's a Lego Mindstorm, a Lego computer. So, I haven't got an EV3. I've got an earlier one. I've been thinking about getting an EV3, but basically it gives you so you can program it. So it's programmed that sensor.
There you go.
That's cool. Engineering. That's what I like. And then you can see if I push forward now, he's able to do the timer. Keep the speed going. Blah 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 blah. There you go. Anyway, I just had that in the background. That was the plan anyway. Switch back.
No, going back to the subject of my show I'm going to do later. I haven't come across Kyle Adams all that much. I don't really know much about him, really. I mean, once or twice, I think, I've seen him on Mr. S. I think he's featured a couple of times, and that's about it, really. He seems a nice guy, though. He's probably an idiot, but...
Kyle Adams. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, I watched... I see Gary Wybanger all the time, and I've seen a couple of years. I thought, I better go and have a proper look. And yeah, I can see why people don't pay him much heed. He's
you're talking about Gary or Kyle Adams?
Gary Wybanger, yeah.
Oh, Gary Wybanger. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. I don't know anybody that can be ignorant, arrogant, and a liar. And an idiot all in one go.
I think he's doing it for attention.
It's quite an amazing skill. Sorry?
I'm pretty sure he's doing a lot of it for attention because he's
probably
you see him all the time on all the channel and trying to get people to to have a go at.
But he's just so arrogant with it. He's just so arrogant and ignorant at the same time. It's just bizarre. Arrogance of the man is just astounding.
So you saw the Toon one about Go on.
I think he's not that well known at the moment, but I think he should be on top left at least anyway. But
Gary.
I don't think he's been nominated this year.
Well, I always feel like he's trying to get to a sort of flatsoids position, but
yeah,
he just doesn't have the content.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Oh, here we go. What we got?
Did you see this one?
Oh yeah. I'm not sure. I don't know if I've seen it or not, but yeah, it might be good to watch.
This is the one on the fake. It's an old video, but it comes up again. So yeah, I'll see about that. It's not very long.
Called the Biker Scout. Now, this is a video from 2015, but it was reposted on TikTok recently. You won't believe the stuff he says, especially the very last thing he does is blatant lies. It's just over the top. You just watch this.
Greetings, fellow humans. I'm the Biker Scout. And a little background about me, other than the obvious Star Wars reference. Yeah. I ride a motorcycle full time. But I'm a professional designer and photographer first. I've been using Photoshop since 2.0. Is that 1990-ish? So I know my way around a computer and photo editing software. And I just had to make this video in response to the crap that NASA's been feeding us as scientific proofs for the general archives and public domain. When in fact they're employing very amateurish photo retouchers. I'm a stickler for details and an avid pixel peeper.
Ooh, a stickler for details, you say?
And I'll tell you what, if I was employed by NASA, the fake images would be flawless. There are so many absurd photographic anomalies in their archives, but I'm only going to focus on a couple that have all been released within the last few months here in 2015. So let's get started. All right, let's go straight to the horse's mouth here and download the image right off of NASA's website.
The first thing that this stickler for details missed was that he downloaded that particular photograph from the website that was the one that was meant to be for the website, not the one that was the scientific data version of it, not the 4 megapixel version of it. He got the low res one.
I'm a stickler for details.
So why wouldn't this stickler from details just go right into the website and download the highest resolution one?
With an exact sphere, that means they used Photoshop to delete the background, but they didn't do a very good job. As you can see here, there's a bunch of little random pixel anomalies floating in space. The most obvious that nobody really saw until you invert the image is up here. This is a strip of blue sky cloud that somebody forgot to erase. Now, this is very obvious when you invert the image back.
So, ad blockers kicking that away, I think.
That is partially correct. The person that made the website took the original one.
Yep. Go on.
He inverted the image, yeah?
Yeah.
So instead of those being a bluish dark pixel, they would actually be a magenta hot pixel.
If they're blue.
Because you've got, because when you invert it, blue goes to magenta.
Yeah.
Ish.
I thought that, so I was going to see what colour they were when he brought them back.
Well, you barely see them because against the black background, they're hot, but they're not that hot.
Yeah. I thought it was a bit of a nothing thing myself anyway. Let's see where it go.
Brought it into Photoshop, shrunk it down to make it suitable for viewing on a web page. You could go to the original, and you would find on the original, like I did, that those things aren't there.
There's a lot of things about this image that I don't really like in terms of clarity and definition that just can't be taken from a 4 megapixel camera from 1 million miles away. I mean, the detail's astonishingly ridiculous. I mean, you can clearly make out the Central Valley in California. You know, you can see
well, don't lift
land
the
detail.
JPEG from the website then, you stupid man. Get the original. Idiot.
Also, remember that 4 megapixel camera is hooked up to a 3 meter focal length f9 telescope.
There you go. Yeah.
Yes, it's not your Instagram. It's Instamatic camera from. It's a pretty decent piece of kit. But even then, it's sort of like his argument about what detail can you see. You can't see any cities. You can't. You expect to see what you would expect to see.
Scales. I'm sorry, 4 meg.
The pixel is about 2 kilometers square.
Yeah. Which is pretty fine detail if you'd argue about it. So even at this distance, you're going to see maybe 100. So you're not seeing a lot of detail, to be honest with you. Enough. But the big thing would have been to go back and see if the clouds lined up with the which is a bit easier to do nowadays with the Himawari, but maybe not so back in 215.
Megapixels, 1 million miles away. I don't know.
So why is it a problem that you can see the detail from this distance? Why? No idea why. You didn't say anything other than, I don't know.
Let's check out Commander Scott Kelly's photograph of the Earth, Moon, Venus transit. First, let's open it and do what we did before. We'll invert the image, and we'll see if there's any strange things afoot. My suspicion was the lens flare. It looked too Hollywoodish to me. It looked too much like a plug-in or a filter. But I was blown away when I saw this really glaringly obvious cover-up of something. Now, to me, it looks like they just took the brush tool and blocked something out by just selecting black, but they didn't use the eyedropper tool to sample the nearest color black. So they're, like I said, blacks aren't all the same once you start looking at it as an inverted image. It looks black. Now, they may have blocked something out for artistic reasons, but as soon as you do that, it's a manipulated image, and you can't.
Did you see he stopped talking about his the filter and the supposed lens flare? He went under somebody else? Because I don't think there's anything there to pick up on.
If you take that image and do it with levels instead of just inverted, it looks really like what you're seeing are areas of the station that are in the frame, but because it's in the Earth's shadow, there's no illumination on it. And what illumination there is coming from the, from behind. So they're just really, really dark, really, really black.
Yeah.
And claim it as authentic.
Well, maybe you should look at what they claim about it. This isn't part of a science mission. It's just a photograph that Commander Kelly took and then tweeted. So, did he edit the bottom of it and remove something there? Probably. It might have been something in the way. He wasn't trying to hide anything. And if somebody had manufactured that image, that's not how they would have done it. It would have been consistent.
Everybody might remember this one. This is the famous moon transiting the Earth in front of NASA's Discover satellite. That's 1 million miles away, parked out in geosynchronous orbit. Okay, let's right-click this bad boy, put it in Photoshop. It's a GIF for animated purposes, but the cool thing about GIFs is you can actually open them up in Photoshop and you can see all the layers that the GIF is made out of. Kind of cool. So let's zoom in here and check it out. All right, you start activating layers and the moon comes into frame. But what is this? Why is the leading edge of the moon green? Obviously, that shouldn't be like that.
Well, why is the leading edge green? That is a great question. And Mr. Stickler for Details...
I'm a stickler for details.
Missed a detail. If you go to the web page, you can go there today and you can scroll down and you can look, and it actually describes what is happening and how it takes the photographs. It takes multiple photographs in succession, each time with a different color filter in front of the camera. Now, if he had scrolled down and read that same thing, he would have known the answer to the question he asked. But he didn't. Mr. Stickler for Details missed that detail.
I'm a stickler for details.
Now, you might say, wait a second. That's a copy of the website from today. They certainly added it since then, and it wasn't there when Mr. Stickler for Details.
I know where it's going. I didn't notice he makes it quite. He didn't say it, but noticeable camera artifacts on the right side of the moon. So he didn't, but that actually definitely says it.
Looked at it. Well, you would be wrong because you are looking at a version that I picked up from archive.org on the very day that Stickler for Details made this video. That's right, it's been there the whole time. It was on the web page when he asked why there's a green fringe on it. The answer was right there.
So what's going on here is NASA has south parked a dim moon image because they said it's the dark side of the moon. So obviously we think the image needs to appear darker.
Oh, you're confused. It's actually Pink Floyd that calls it the dark side of the moon. NASA calls it the far side of the moon. Mm-hmm. And it's supposed to be that color. The moon is dark gray.
Yeah,
Its
that annoys
albedo
me
is
when people say that.
18%.
Dark side of
But
the
it's
moon.
passing
No.
right in front of the Earth, in front of the sun. Full sun, full moon, so that means it should be bright, really bright, bright as the clouds.
Sorry, I was just going to say, because that's where I've seen some people say, oh, the Chinese photos, how can you see stuff because they're on the dark side of the moon?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That many times.
And here we see
I feel
the
obliged
professional
to
photographer
correct them.
I'm a professional designer and photographer.
showing his professionalness. I don't think he quite understands exposure. The moon is dark gray. Clouds are white. They should not be the same color.
There's a lot of problems with this, image that people have noted already. Clouds obviously don't move.
Well, the stickler for details seems to have neglected to add in his analysis of the cloud movement. He did that, right? Well, no, of course he didn't. He just said it. He didn't actually analyze anything.
I'm a stickler for details.
But if you do, look, I did this figure 8 pattern. I zoomed in on it over the entire course of the couple hours that it is showing here. It does in fact move. You would not expect it to move much because that's a gigantic weather pattern. Small movements from this distance of something that size is exactly what you would expect.
But the one thing that I really dislike about this image is the fact that who's got the real moon? Commander Scott Kelly has a picture of the moon from the space station, and he's 237 miles away from his vantage point. Now, or 237,000 miles away from his vantage point. And this Discoverer satellite image is 1 million miles away, minus 237 miles the distance between the Earth and the moon, yet it looks like a dim, dead rock.
And here's where I'm going to call BS on him being a photographer.
I'm a professional designer and photographer.
Because a photographer understands exposure. The photo on the left is exposed to see the stars. The Earth is barely illuminated and the moon is completely blown out. On the right one, the photograph is exposed correctly for the Earth. You can't see the stars at all. They're too dim in comparison to the Earth. And of course, the moon is dark gray, as you would expect for proper exposure. Yeah, I don't think he's a photographer. Hey, Dal, what do you think about this guy?
I'm sick and tired of reality denying, incompetent, woefully ignorant retards like you, son.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Well, now we get to the part where he just blatantly lies.
Here's one last image showing a famous Earth shot from the International Space Station. It's beautiful. NASA uses Nikon, like I said before. So Commander Kelly has graciously taken a selfie of his own camera, so we see what model it is. We can even see that there's a massive fisheye lens on this thing. But knowing those two things is key ingredient in fixing the photos. So in Photoshop, there's a lens distortion correction filter you can use. You just plug in what kind of camera you have, what kind of lens you have, boom, voila, it flattens the image out and corrects the distortion, whether it's pincushion or barrel distortion or even fisheye.
So here's where the stickler for details really messes up. That particular photograph was taken in 2003. And he said it was taken...
Yeah, so you guys were around a bit longer. Have someone said the same stuff that Toon's saying before and Toon's just repeating it, or is it? Or you don't know because you haven't heard it yet?
It's funny because I had a look at when Toon posted this video, or when this video got posted up, the one that Toon's looking at.
Yeah.
I had a look at it, and I posted a comment under Toon's post on the video on the original video, and I mentioned some of the things that Toon's going to say. For a start, that 8mm lens that is in the photograph on there could not have been used to take the photograph we are seeing, because it is what is known as a circular fisheye. It produces a circular image with a black border around it. It doesn't project a big enough image to fill the rectangular frame.
Yeah.
If you look at the EXIF data, it was shot with a Kodak sensor in a Nikon F5 film body, because Kodak used to convert Nikon and Canon top end film cameras to digital. And then it was shot with a 35mm f1.4 lens, which is about a normal focal length for the size of sensor that that Kodak put in that camera. So other people might have said it before, but it's not just tune copying what they said. It's correct.
By Commander Scott Kelly. The problem is that Commander Scott Kelly wasn't first on the ISS until 2007.
Oops.
The stickler for details missed that by only 4 years. And that selfie that Commander Scott Kelly took of the camera with that particular lens on it, well, he got that wrong too, because the photograph from 2003 was taken not on a Nikon camera, but on a Kodak camera with a Nikon lens. And I know that it's a Nikon lens because the EXIF information says so. And I commented about this in the video. And the Biker Scout responded with his other account, EcoMouse. And I know it's EcoMouse is him because I listened to his videos. It's the same voice. And he even has some of the same video titles and content. And he was a bit angry with me, and he had some choice words for me, talking about EXIF information as if I didn't know. Of course, I do know. If you've watched any of my videos, you would. And the photograph of the lens that he's talking about is actually an 8mm lens that can't even take a rectangular photo. It's a true fisheye lens. The photos it takes are round. He said that he took that picture, brought it into Photoshop, and applied the automatic lens correction filter for that particular camera and lens. Well, the problem is that the particular lens that it is a round one. So if he actually did that, it would be drastically different. Well, he doesn't know what lens was on it actually. So what I did is I brought that photo into Photoshop. I chose the Nikon lens family, and I tested every single lens that Photoshop has listed. Every one of them. And you can see as I go through them all here in fast motion, none of them make the horizon look how he made the horizon look. How did that happen? Was it an automatic lens correction? Of course it was not. It could not. He doesn't know what lens was on there. He had to do something else. I don't know exactly what he did, but this is my guess. I think he went into the manual adjustment, and he brought that slider all the way to the side so that it would flatten out the horizon as much as he could. But he couldn't get it the first time.
At least he knows his way around
I had to
Photoshop.
apply
Right?
it.
He knows his way around Photoshop, so he would have known that feature existed. So I think that's quite an obvious explanation. So I think MC Tune's right, to be honest.
3 times. And when I was done applying it 3 times, it looked pretty flat, but the edges were curved up just a little bit too much. So then I looked at his and I said, oh my goodness, his is cropped. The original version had a bunch more photo on the edges and on the top and bottom. He cropped it to get rid of any curviness there. So here you see me doing the exact same cropping. And you can compare what I did to what he did. And it looks pretty similar, but it's an absolute intentional deception that he did to force the horizon to look flat. He didn't use an automatic lens adjustment. There is no Nikon lens adjustment that accomplishes that. I tested every one of them. So there it is, the Biker Scout. He lied. He just blatantly lied. He wanted the outcome to look a certain way, and he forced it. So the Biker Scout, that's embarrassing for you. 7 years later, 8 years later, it's been sitting there. Are you going to leave it up? Are you going to apologize? Are you going to make a video saying, yes, here is how you manipulated that in order. I kind of doubt you will, but I wish that you would be honest, because that particular desktop pattern that you have where you are accusing NASA of lying, well, you're the one that did it. And that's, I think, the one from Rob Skiba, who, well, that makes him and he's a religiflurf, and I suppose you're a religiflurf too. And so you look to the Bible. Well, the Bible doesn't have kind words to say about people that intentionally lie. So you're accusing NASA of lying, but you're the one lying. So anyway, if you've made it this far, thank you very much. Please do like and subscribe, and maybe you want to go and let the Biker Scout know your feelings on how he did this. I will link his video in the description so that you can go and congratulate him on such a great video.
So, there you go. Do you think Toon's got more subscribers than me?
You might have, yeah.
A few. Yeah, just a few.
I got a better percent.
One
I got a better percent watching now, I bet. And you only got 50. It's a bit easy. Yes. I think it's a bit like that. Nah. I think I'd. That was really interesting.
Yeah, we gotta do.
Go on, Blue.
Oh, I was gonna say we gotta do something about your subs. Gotta get that count up a bit.
Got it up to 50, and now I can at least live stream on my phone.
Yeah, I got you a few subs, didn't I, at the start?
Yeah.
A few months ago.
All right.
It wasn't a whole lot. Maybe about 10 or 15 or something, wasn't it? Not even that, I don't think.
I'm not overly concerned, I've got to admit. I'm not planning to make a career out of it. We might have 300 subs for Toon, but I think yours is the first. I was your first subscriber. Yes,
I don't think anybody's here making a career of it.
Yes, I think Dora. Yes, I do believe you were my first sub, other than myself. Technically, I was Dora. Dora was my first sub, I think.
Oh, Dora.
I'd have to go back and check, but I'm pretty sure
Hey,
she was.
look on the bright side. At least I've subbed to you with all my socks as well.
You have, yes. That's you pushed me up a few. So, as I said, I was going to try and come up with a good first live stream with my on my phone. I thought one day while the sun's still coming up, I'll do a live stream of the sun setting south of west from one of the hills up here, just for the fun of it. And it might be pretty. Okay, we got some good views over the lake in Canberra, so we might do that. I just got to be bothered to go up onto the hill at whatever time on it, 7 o'clock. Make sure I'm ready.
Well, there is that to it, yeah.
I tell you what, it is a lot easier going out and taking pictures around sunrise this time of the year than it is in the middle of summer. Apart from the fact that it's so bloody cold.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just choices.
Sorry,
Get up early.
Cold?
Get bloody cold.
Cold? Sorry, what's this cold you talk about?
England. It doesn't get cold in England. It's cool, not cold.
Well, I mean, in theory, if you go, we should actually be quite a lot colder than we actually are here in the UK.
Yeah, you should be. Yes.
So should
We're on.
Yeah, you ought to be like a Labrador.
Yeah.
Yep.
Considering our latitude, we should be, but it's like it's because of the warm currents going around the around the British Isles. That's what makes us a little bit more temperate.
Yeah.
However, especially where I live, it's very wet. It rains a lot. There's barely a day, especially in the winter time. For 6 months of the year, I would say there's not really a day when it hasn't rained at least a little bit. You know, particularly here.
I wish
Well,
it
it's
would
not
rain
just
over here. The roads are filthy.
it's not just there; it's all over Northern Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah. To
I know.
answer the question that Dora's just asked me, no, I didn't.
Oh
didn't-
yeah, I read about that.
I don't think I even heard it.
Really?
So
They had one go off.
so
Yes.
So are you saying, Matt? Are you saying, Matt, that when the sun comes out for half a day, you call that summer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, technically it's called summer, but barely. We would probably get a few weeks of sun. That's it. That's why I was saying. Why does everybody keep referring to this thing called a sun? What is it? What does it do? Don't see it very often.
They found.
Alan, I've got a question for you.
Go on. You go.
Oh, go on, Timbo.
No, you go. I was just going to say. Well,
I've got a question for Alan.
Go.
All right, Alan, I've got a question. Are you still there, Alan?
Yeah, I'm here.
Are you still there? I was looking at a meme on Facebook, and I knew straight away there was something wrong with it. But I'm trying to get the right, because I might do a little video on it. I'm trying to get the right. But one of the question I got for you then is with all the photos that are taken on the moon, you know, with Apollo,
Yes.
the Hasselblad cameras that they used. I'm trying to get the right terminology here. I call it the aspect ratio of the photograph itself, because they're mostly sort of relatively square shaped, aren't they?
Exactly
Relatively,
square.
they're all exactly square. That's what I thought. Yeah.
The
Go ahead.
image itself is it's normally 6 by 6 centimeters, but
Yeah.
the actual visible area is 56 millimeters by 56 millimeters.
56 by
Whether you use the
56.
standard 120 film that you would normally use in that type of camera, or you're using the 70 millimeter film with sprockets that NASA was using.
Right. The only reason why I asked, because in the meme, as soon as I saw it, I saw that doesn't look right. And I know it's not right, because what they did was they took one of the photos from Apollo 15, right? And the original, all it shows is the lunar rover and the lunar module. That's all it shows. And in this doctored photo, it shows extra landscape that's been added on, so it's like a 16:9 ratio.
Yeah.
With the Earth, they're saying it's Earthrise, and again, there's a big problem with it being Earthrise on the surface of the moon. No, there is no Earthrise on the surface of the moon, as we know. That's the reason why I was asking.
I think I know the photo you're on about. And yeah,
Probably.
There was, I think there was at least 2 consecutive photos taken, and what they've done is merged them together.
Yeah.
And then
So
added in the Earth. Yeah, I've seen that on the net.
Yeah,
before,
they've added on more moon landscape, and what they've done is they've used that image that's been doctored and put it in with another image of that something NASA produced, where it points out all the landing sites, including the probes that landed.
And it's basically
exactly. So and basically what it says, I can't find it. I thought I'd actually saved the meme. I wish I could, but I must have copied and pasted it. I can't find it anyway. And basically what it's saying is, well, if there's all these land sites and stuff, why is it that these astronauts on the moon are on the top of the moon and we can see Earthrise? Top of the moon.
Top of the moon. Because that's photos orientated.
Yeah, and also see Earthrise. Well, you're not going to see Earthrise or set when you're on the surface of the moon, because you've seen the same face of the moon the whole time. So if you're on the surface of the moon, a constant feature is going to see the Earth. So it's not going to rise and it's not going to set either, you know. So there's so many things wrong with that whole thing, all in one meme, you know.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things you have to remember is that NASA did have them do interesting stuff. For example, so on Apollo 17, they had them photograph a 360 panorama.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah,
And I've just posted in the results of stitching that 360 panorama in fair suck.
I think you've already done it before, haven't you? You posted this before.
Oh yeah.
I have posted this before, yeah.
Yeah, you have. Yeah.
But I was just, you know, just to show that, NASA didn't just have, they weren't just taking random photographs. This stuff, the photographs, even the photographs they were taking were planned out in advance.
Oh yeah.
So it was planned out that they would do these, that they shot this 360 panorama. And of course, on the moon, what does move is the sun, not the Earth.
Yeah. Well, I mean, don't forget there is a little bit of wobble, so the Earth does move a bit, doesn't it? It just change position in the sky if you're on the surface of the moon. Yeah.
Not
Yes,
much.
Not much,
Not
no.
much. And also, of course, remember that the Earth will have phases too.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you won't always see it. Yeah.
Hey, Blue, did you know that
You'll
America?
always see it. Sometimes it'll be dark.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Sorry. Yeah. Misspoke.
Blue, I was going to ask, did you know that America is really Egypt?
Is what?
Come again?
America.
Oh yeah.
It's really Egypt.
Oh yeah. Let's see this. See what I haven't seen this one yet. Let's see what she's got to say.
You guys stop talking over each other. I'll figure out what you're saying.
On the video,
America
is really Egypt. Let's see. Here we go.
Everything is up for more questioning, more research. We cannot keep trusting what they tell us at all.
What? Oh, surely you must be jesting.
Alas, sir, I am not.
Oh. Catastrophic.
Everything we've been told is a lie.
You know what this means, don't you?
If you're thinking what I'm afraid you're thinking...
Precisely, Chief O'Hara. The moment we've dreaded for years has arrived.
Then they go ahead and keep pushing further agendas, all this other stuff, like trying to show us how our solar system works. They know absolutely nothing. And come to find out during my research, they've never been to space at all.
Dummy?
And that's another thing that I'm getting tired of. You calling me a dummy.
Well, the only reason I call you a dummy is because I call them as I see them. Dummy.
So how do we have all these videos and all this stuff? It's just CGI. It's already been proven that Mars is freaking Canada.
It's all right. I laugh myself sometimes.
What?
Mars is Canada.
There's a whole lot else you can do.
Used to me.
And they have a video showing them putting a rover around over there. Like, come on, people, please wake up.
Looks like there's a lot you don't know about.
The purpose of kids going to school and being required to by law, and they're not teaching them actual real history, no real facts. It is more so indoctrination instead of education, flat out.
You may begin your exam now.
A dog says. A cow says.
course. Kids are there to learn math, science, those basic studies. That's what they're supposed to be learning. They're not even teaching the kids that no more. Now they want to make kids think that they could be a boy or be a girl and cause all this goddamn confusion.
Well, here they are, Brian, my test results. Read them and weep. Peter, according to this, you're not a genius. In fact, you're mentally retarded.
You gotta realize what's really going on here. I need people to wake up, wake up, wake up.
I could have used a little more cowbell. So, let's take it again.
Bruce Dickinson.
Please stop getting spoon-fed the bullshit that they want to keep giving you. Please stop just listening to everything the first time you hear it. Anytime something doesn't make sense, please do more research.
You're gonna want that cowbell on the track.
You know what? It's fine. Let's just do the thing.
Okay, roll it.
When I went down the rabbit hole and found out the truth about this whole world, man, I was like, they ain't shit real.
You know, that it doesn't work for me. I gotta have more cowbell.
When you go up in a plane, do you see it start curving? When I go travel, it looks like it's completely flat. I don't see any curves. Like, I don't see any curves. It doesn't make sense.
I gotta have more cowbell, baby.
They lied to us about our whole
Jesus
entire
Christ.
geography. I've been trying to tell people lately, America is actually Egypt. Please go do your research about that, and you'll see that it's true.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
Thank you, Bruce.
Okay.
That is still gonna be one of the all-time funniest skits ever.
Oh, the cowbell thing. Yeah.
I need more cowbell. And he's prancing around the room, bashing that bloody thing. Oh, it's just excellent. But yeah, go and do your research, and you'll find that America is indeed Egypt.
Just in case.
Not quite sure where you'll find
Is
that.
it?
I don't. Yeah.
Is Egypt? Is it? Oh, okay.
I don't know where that one's coming from. That one's.
So, did you know that you're living in Egypt? Are you aware of that? Have you found the pyramids yet?
I have no idea where to go look. I know where they are. I mean, I've been there, but it's not here.
Not there. You sure? Have you checked? Have you measured them?
I have, yeah. I've taken some fairly long airplane flights that will get you to the pyramids.
No pyramids. Okay.
No pyramids.
None around here, though.
All right. I believe you. Thousands
So-
wouldn't, but I believe
And
you.
have they stopped teaching maths and
Have they?
science and stuff in schools over there? Have they?
Yeah, apparently.
History, apparently. Well, actually,
There's one person who didn't pay attention to school, eh?
I did find one time a big wazing great desert out in the western part of the U.S. Not a damn camel anywhere to be found, nor were there any pyramids. I don't know.
Egypt must be in Australia because we've got camels. You go in there,
Yeah,
desert.
you'd think.
Yeah,
You'd think if you.
yeah.
if
What you guys?
you-
We don't have any camels. How do you guys have camels? Hell,
We've got so
Don't
many
you swear at
camels.
me.
We've got so many camels. We're shipping them back to Arabia.
Yeah, we sell them to the Arabians for a lot of money, actually. We sell racing camels.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, they got racing stripes on them and everything.
No, we do. This is real. This is not a drop bear. The drop bears are further south. These are the real camels up in north.
How can you tell this is the racing camel? It's that dirty great big spoiler on the back that gives it away.
It's got 2 humps instead of 1. It's twin cam.
Oh!
Twin hump.
Yes. No, because they brought them out to do the up in the desert thing. They escaped and they bred, so we got lots of camels, lots of wild camels.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how many oak tables have they got?
Ah, yes, the oak tables. That's all important question.
And how much brandy did they? Was it brandy or rum they drank?
Rum for the camels.
That's it, rum for the camels. Poor old Timbo ain't got a clue what we're on about, have you, mate?
No, I haven't got a clue. I'm just sitting here thinking.
No.
Am I the only one in the dark here?
Yeah. You had to be there.
No clue
When
what
we
you're
was
talking about either, to be
doing
fair.
sort of the history of Australia and these various expeditions, and there was an expedition where they listed the items that they'd taken with them, and there was umpteen camels, oak tables, and barrel after barrel of rum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's strange that they're going on this expedition out into the middle of nowhere. You know, they're exploring parts of Australia for the first time ever. We better not forget our oak tables. You know,
And the rum literally was for the camels.
the rum actually was for the camels. Yeah.
Jesus, they must have been pissed.
Yeah, but happy.
Paralytic camels. How do paralytic camels behave?
Why is there never any rum?
Camels drunk it.
Yes.
Drunk it all.
So I told you about the rum rebellion. You know, we had a rum rebellion.
Oh yeah, I know about that. Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
Bit of a rum do.
Used to be our currency there for a little while. It was rum.
I could never get into rum.
Oh, rum's nice.
My brother used to drink rum. Oh, still does, I suppose, but used to drink rum.
I can't stand that stuff.
No, I can't do it.
Reminded me too much
However,
of communion wine. I could just say.
Let me
Go to
just
lodge.
post a
Church.
screenshot that was taken last night. There we go.
Most of the churches that I've been to when I've taken communion, it's Ribena. It's blackcurrant juice. It's not. It's not wine at all.
That's a
I like Ribena.
Yeah, it is Ribena.
It's a modern.
It's not wine at all.
Yeah, now what they've a lot of churches have decided not to have alcoholic beverages.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Yeah.
There we go.
Still call it communion wine though.
Yeah.
What you hugging there, farmers?
It's a bottle of Grey Goose vodka. I'd had quite a few slugs out of that as well.
Oh yeah, it looks like you have a bit red faced and a bit happy. Yeah.
Somebody had done the super chat and Slim had said, "Oh, I'll take a shot for that," and I said, "No, hang on a minute, I'll show you a shot." Went downstairs, came back up with that bottle, and just
breaking up.
The freezer's
No, bottle's got an effect on it. Right.
Yeah.
To it.
Is that just
It's
me?
a very, very smooth drink.
Is that just me, or has he gone really slurry?
Seriously, it's the best vodka I've.
Cranberry.
Oh. Cranberry.
Oh, I don't do very much. I mean, just make it look like a sort of kidney infection. That's all. Okay. Yeah.
Give it to 12.
I like Grey Goose.
Yeah, it's a bit more expensive than ordinary vodka, but you can taste the difference. But it's that nice. I don't generally like them because it's just ooh. All in moderation.
Yeah. Moderation, yep.
As I've already had one.
Is it just me with you cutting out? Or was everybody? It was just me.
No, I think it was just a bit of buffering. I think on your cutting out here. You mean?
Yeah, like I could barely hear what farmers were saying. He was roboting quite badly.
Oh.
No, it's
You
fine
were,
for
you
me.
were
I think
fine.
it might be you.
Yeah, it might be
You were
you.
fine. Matt and Blue was fine. It's just sounded like farmers.
No,
was
I could
having
hear him fine.
Too much of that bottle he was holding. Okay, I don't know what that's about.
Of
Anyway,
course, the other advantage is with drinking vodka is you don't get hangovers the next morning.
is that true?
Well, I don't anyway.
I'm going to dispute that. I do.
I've never
I
had
did.
I've never had a hangover on vodka. Any other stuff, yes. Vodka, no.
Pure vodka, yeah, maybe, yeah, okay, fair enough, yeah, because my drinks were mixed with the vodka, so
yeah, but
that's different.
well, yeah, but even when I was drinking pints of Black Russian, that's vodka and Tia Maria and Diet Coke, but that still never gives me hangovers.
Back in the day when I was 21, a very long time ago,
The galaxy far away.
The galaxy far away. Yeah, well, in Winchester, in Hampshire. Yeah, I suppose you might say it was a galaxy far away. I used to live there, and it was my 21st birthday. I used to drink cider at the time. That was my thing to drink.
Yeah.
And back in those days with Winchester, it used to be the fact that if you walked within the high street, you used to have more pubs and more bars than in 1 square mile than any other town in the country at the time. Because it's not the case now. But if you had a half in each, if you walked within the high street and you had a half in each, roughly within the pubs all down the high street, you probably wouldn't make it to the bottom. So anyway, cutting a long story short, inside. It's one shot, a couple of shots each time. I remember the last two. I almost went to hospital. I've never been so ill in my life, and I haven't touched cider since. And that was vodka. It's the cider and the vodka mixed.
No, it was the cider.
It was the vodka with it. I had many a night out with ciders, and I was absolutely fine, and have been fairly how shall I say, lubricated. And I've never been so ill in my life, and it was the vodkas mixed with the cider.
Yeah, that's not a good thing to do.
Terribly ill. I didn't find out until the next day. Why am I so ill? Well, we put some vodkas in your ciders.
You bastard.
Naughty.
Yeah, I was ill for a couple of days after that. Ugh.
Somebody tried to do that to me once. One of the rare occasions when I wasn't driving, a mate and his girlfriend had picked me up. We went a bit of a drive across to another village in somebody's house. I think it was like a Christmas do or something. And I was on the vodka, but where I was sitting, I was leaving my glass on the table behind me. And unbeknownst to me, the vodka and Coke was becoming more and more Coke, more and more vodka and less Coke. Till by the end of the night, I was just drinking it straight, and I was absolutely bladdered. I was out of it. And then when they took me home, and I was still living at home with the parents, so as she was driving, as she come into the yard and swung round the yard in front of the barn, and sort of come to a stop, everything that was inside me didn't come to a stop. It just came up and out, and I was sat behind her. And apparently, when she got home, she was picking bits of mushroom vol au vent out of her.
Oh,
because I'd been snacking on them, but I was basically full of. And they said, and they told me the next day what they'd done, and I said, "Ha ha, serves you bloody right. If I'd just been drinking vodka and a Coke all night, I'd have been okay." But they said, "Yeah, you got through a bottle and a half of vodka," and I said, "Yeah." And your girlfriend ended up wearing it all. I didn't even throw up. It was just the motion. It just sort of went from stomach up, throat, out, mouth, and I didn't even try. Just sorry. I thought, why did I do that?
I'll too much information.
Towards the back end of last year.
It was. Oh,
go on. Sorry, go on.
It was the mushroom vol au vents that finished the story off. Yeah. But there, serves you right. Don't spike me drinks again, and have me sat behind you.
Yes.
The things you do when you're young.
Did I just hear Simon Dan just then?
You did.
I heard his dulcet tones.
I did hear Simon Dan. I was.
I did.
Planning that I
did
would not go quite as late as Terry's stream.
That's fair.
Start to wind down, since we usually wind down with a Simon.
Terry's still a bit crook, is he?
Yeah, I don't think he was feeling very well, so.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's why I was sort of running this one. We'll see where we are on Wednesday, see if he's still up for it or not. But, yeah, we go with that. Unless you want to listen to what's his name? But let's go with Dan. And put Dan up on the screen and come back. Oh, I turned Discord off. Hang on a sec. Put it back up on Discord. Turn on camera. There you go. Should see it.
Oh, yeah.
There we are. There, Dan. Let's see what Dan. I haven't watched this one, so I have no idea what he's got. Let's see where we go.
Towards the back end of last year, we looked at Flatzoid and his attempt at debunking Professor Dave. Now, we managed to get through his first 3 points in 3 videos, but unbelievably, there are still 7 points to go. Can Flatzoid actually debunk any of Professor Dave's points? Or will he fail yet again? No prizes for guessing this one, folks. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Flat Earth Friday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we begin today, a massive thank you to the sponsors of today's Latency Gaming. Then Raycon's got you. Build great habits with other premium audio breaks and enjoy it whilst listening of how Drew left in pocket gone through the puddle. Now, Raycon's intelligent to start her snoozing in views. Ready to buy something small with a big impact? And Dan, as I said at the start, is more Flatzoid trying to debunk Professor Dave. Today we're going to start at him looking at the 4th point from Professor Dave, and don't worry, we will eventually look at all of the points from Professor Dave, no matter how many videos it takes. Let's go.
I think it's quite quiet.
You are all quite perplexed about how Earth's atmosphere can exist next to the vacuum of space. This one is rather amusing because what's happening is that since you have no science education, your only context for the word vacuum is a vacuum.
Now this is spot on. This is their only context. They get vacuums wrong all the time. Let's see what word salad Flatzoid comes up with here, shall we?
Do you guys really see what he already starts off with there? Telling us what we know and what we don't know, and secondly, trying to equate this, a vacuum cleaner, to the second law of thermodynamics violation. Sorry, your straw man...
And also making out that people are uneducated as well. He's thrown that in there, hasn't he?
Exactly, but this is all this guy does. Dave Farina just goes and straw mans everywhere. That's all he does. That's practically how he gets done in life, is straw manning arguments and then attacking it. And because...
It's funny how he says how he got started. Like, he only did this flat earth stuff very recently. He was actually quite famous long before he did any flat earth stuff. Professor Dave, this is.
Yeah.
The globe believers think he's an actual professor.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a lot of university students like Professor Dave. He's taught them how to get past their exams.
So which he isn't. And they don't actually know the arguments, they just take it as fact.
But you do think the atmosphere should be sucked off the planet in the manner that a vacuum cleaner sucks stuff up off the floor. So he does have a point, doesn't he?
It's self-admitted that he goes to people for answers his sense. Obviously he's uneducated as well.
Yeah, the thing is, I was trying to explain
he's just not actually addressing the point that Professor Dave made.
He works on the script.
Have you noticed that?
If he doesn't have his script, I don't even think he understands half of the things he presents on his channel.
But he does usually write the scripts, Flatzoid. So he does understand it, doesn't he? Just like how I write my scripts.
Because if you actually watch some of the debates he has, he's not actually a debater. He's literally just ad-homs and straw mans and red herrings. That's all he does, the whole debate, every debate he has. And then he thinks he wins.
Really?
It's actually sad. But yeah, that's...
Very sad.
That's practically what that's his whole persona.
Oh, that's what he's saying.
Okay, let's carry on.
Cleaner. And again, because you have no science education, none of you understand how a vacuum cleaner works.
No science education. Again, telling us that we have no science education.
Sorry, what science education do you have then, Flatzoid? We're all desperate to hear.
Yet there are so many flat earthers that have PhDs and doctorates and professors.
Now that may be so, but are they scientific PhDs and doctorates? I don't think they are they?
Sorry,
I
can't hear what I'm
think
saying.
of
Go on.
I can't think of a flat earther that's got above maybe a master's degree.
I see them all the time, but they're from religion or Christian universities. Like, they're not from credited.
You mean like Patriot Bible University?
Yes,
White
that sort of place.
On top of a hill.
Yeah. That sort of thing. I've seen quite a few claimed credentials, and you find out they're a professor in religious studies or something or other, in some sort of, or Bible studies or something or other, and no scientific credentials.
Correct.
Yeah.
More like Mikey,
theology.
a master's degree in finance or something.
Oh yeah, or something completely unrelated. Like MBA in finance, and knows all about AutoCAD because he has Autodesk shares.
If you notice, what Flatzoid does this all the time. What he's doing is actually he's just attacking Professor Dave himself. He's not addressing any of the points, and he won't all the way through. All the stuff that he's done on Professor Dave is none of it. He never addresses anything. He just picks holes in the actual character of Professor Dave. Blah blah blah. He does this. Blah blah blah. He does that. Blah blah blah, and all the rest of it.
See, perfect.
It's because he hasn't got the intellectual capacity or the brain power to actually debunk anything that he's actually talking about.
Yeah.
Not any of it.
Because the perfect thing there would have been to explain how a vacuum cleaner works, just to prove Professor Dave wrong.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. The obvious thing to do, but he doesn't.
You're going to say Blue?
I don't know what he's going to do.
Okay, let's see. I haven't watched this one.
And how about people that used to work for NASA? I'm sure there's flat Earth NASA employees, correct?
Highly unlikely.
Okay, let's move on.
Which is a problem, because you seem to think that outer space is a vacuum cleaner. Let's take a moment and clear this up. A vacuum is any region where there is no stuff. Here, there is stuff, like air, in space.
First of all, he shows vacuum cleaners there. Nobody says there's vacuum cleaners there. They put a vacuum cleaner there to make fun of your globe. It's not that we literally say there's a vacuum cleaner there.
No, he wasn't saying that.
Address the
Flatzoid.
point,
He put the
Flatzoid.
vacuum cleaners there because you guys think that space works like a vacuum cleaner. And that's what he said. And you do think that.
This is much more of a vacuum than that down there.
And now he's about to prove Dave's point.
This is 10 to the minus 17 tall. We cannot even replicate that on Earth. The Sandusky vacuum chamber doesn't even come close to it.
No, we can't replicate it here on Earth.
Actually,
and that's
yes,
mainly
it
due
does
down to the
close.
fact.
Sorry, actually?
Yeah, he says it doesn't even come close. That's false. It does come close, but it doesn't. We can't. Yeah, he's right in a way. We can't get it a perfect vacuum, not to 10 to 17, but we come pretty close for the purposes of, I don't know, whatever you're testing. Spacecraft, for example, or satellites.
If we had a chamber filled with almost nothing, the huge weight of the atmosphere above it and around it would just be crushing. It's a little bit like taking a submersible down to the depths of the ocean. There would be a pressure difference on the outside of the submersible compared to the inside of the submersible. So that difference would mean there'd be a force exerted on the outside of that submarine. Now, if we had a vacuum chamber here on Earth's surface, there would also be a pressure difference, the difference between the atmosphere on the outside and the vacuum on the inside. And that means things like this would happen.
So, that already shows your argument has no hold of anything. there's stuff there, but it's so minute, there's hardly anything. So one thing you got to get into your mind is that system is a separate system to that. Because they are separate systems, entropy will increase. You will have
separate.
Dispersal. The arrow of time does happen.
No, they're not separate.
Why do they keep on saying that? Why do they keep saying that? It's not the different system. It isn't.
Because they don't really know what entropy actually is.
No.
No.
Or pressure gradient, for that matter.
Yeah. Well, they want to deny gravity, and once you deny gravity, then some of this stuff, is where they go. But yeah.
So they've all got it into the head because there's this thing called Kármán line. They seem to get it into the head that you're in the atmosphere of the Earth, and all of a sudden, pop, you're into space.
Come on, Matt. 10 to the minus 17 is a whole 12 orders of magnitude. Different than 10 to the minus 5.
Yeah,
That's 12 orders of magnitude, Matt. Come on.
Yeah.
That's 12 more zeros after the decimal point.
Yeah.
That's all. You've gone from not very much to really even less.
Yes, that's right.
You will have the gas in the system dispersing into the available system because it's two separate systems.
No, you won't.
No, it's not.
Gravity means that you need an escape velocity in order to leave this planet. And that is true for spaceships and gas particles alike. Now, here is the equation for escape velocity, and it turns out that to escape Earth, you need a speed of around 11.2 kilometers per second. And the average speed of an atmospheric gas particle is around 300 to 400 meters per second. So your entropy theory here has a problem, doesn't it? Yes, entropy is real, but you are misusing it here.
Space, there is no stuff, or at least very, very close to no stuff. Space is essentially empty. That's a vacuum. It is not a thing that sucks.
No, it definitely doesn't suck. The only thing that sucks is your argument.
Good one, Flatzoid.
The gas, if this is, let's say this was the container and it was closed, there was gas inside it. This would be a separate system. The gas in there is bouncing all around at high velocities in every single direction. If I had to make an opening, it will bounce out and disperse into the available volume.
If that box was on Earth and not Earth itself, then yes.
That's how it works. So if this was an open system, there would be no gas pressure. The gas we breathe in this system would fill the available space. Hence, if space was the vacuum of space, which is space, available volume, we wouldn't have air to breathe.
Except I've just explained that we would.
Vacuums don't suck. Everyone say it with me together. Vacuums don't suck.
Professor, not Professor Dave, makes a straw man argument. Vacuums don't suck. No one says they do.
Yes, they do.
Apart from most flat earthers.
Yeah.
Earth's atmosphere displays a gradient because gravity exists.
Sorry, Dave. Earth has a gradient, not because of gravity. Gravity has no effect on the direction of gas. You should know this if you actually claim to be a professor.
Yeah.
Secondly, gravity is not a force, so cannot cause acceleration or do anything physical to physical movement.
Now, notice there how he didn't explain what actually does cause the atmospheric gradient if it's not gravity. He left that bit out, didn't he? And obviously he can't say relative density disequilibrium. That wouldn't work.
There's a lot of atmosphere right near the ground, and then as you rise, because fewer and fewer molecules will have enough kinetic energy to go so high, it gets thinner and thinner and thinner.
Ha! I like that. So, where is the most of the molecules? There by the ground, where there's the largest surface, where there's everything is actually created, where all the gas is accumulated and hitting all over the place, and the densest of the gas. Doesn't pressure gradients come after gas pressure? So, Professor, not Professor Dave, I'm going to ask you this like everybody asks you probably. Where is the containment? Because we all know Without
Gravity.
containment, you cannot have gas pressure.
Gravity's the container, mate. He just said, you are trying to make an argument based on how gases behave here on Earth. You cannot make that argument when you're talking about the planet as a whole.
That is what gas pressure means. It's the force exerted by the gas on the surface wall of the container.
Barometric pressure.
We're talking about
not gas
atmospheric pressure, not general gas pressure.
We have gas pressure, therefore we have a container. We have containment.
No.
Gas pressure gradient comes after
He's been
gas
sniffing the
pressure.
papers too much.
I'm sure that's made it very clear.
Till there's none left. Then you're in space. It's that simple. Number.
Okay. It's that simple, guys.
Yes, it is that simple. Dear, oh dear, what a mess. Now, next month, I'm going to show you exactly why relative density disequilibrium does not work when we're talking about atmospheric gradient. Because if that truly is how things fall, as the flat earthers say, then we wouldn't be able to breathe. Keep an eye out for that one. Right, we are all done and dusted for another Flat Earth Friday. Thanks very much for joining. I wonder if Flatsoid will make another 2-hour rant video about this response. Let's wait and see. Thank you so much for watching today. It truly is appreciated. If you enjoyed it, please do consider subscribing to the channel. And of course, if you really enjoyed it, hit that like button too, or even consider sharing. Thank you. Just enough time to once again thank Raycon for sponsoring today. Remember to get 15% off your first...
There you go. I still want to know.
Can't help but think that.
Come on.
Can't help but think that the Globers are a bit responsible for the confusion about escape velocity, because we really shouldn't be talking about escape velocity, because escape velocity is only one very specific circumstance that applies, and that's when you're talking about a ballistic particle that has no other forces other than gravity acting on it. You really should be talking about in terms of energy, how much energy you're giving something to escape the Earth's gravitational field. You've got to give it a certain amount of energy. If you don't give it enough energy, it will come back. If you give it more than that certain amount of energy, it's going to keep going.
Well, I think Blue did try to explain that once to SE Montreal, at least for a moment. But yeah, no, that's a fair comment actually. Yeah, without that energy, it's not going to escape. You know, it's not going to come back rather than just velocity. No, I see what you mean.
Yeah, because you can actually escape the Earth's gravitational field without ever reaching so-called escape velocity.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it's the escape velocity really. Well, it can vary too, depending on where you are.
And that's the point. Yeah. It's quite a different number if you're on the surface of the Earth versus 400 miles out in space.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ah, I see what you mean. Right, gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're further in orbit, say for instance, if you're in a much wider orbit, say compared to something else that's maybe in low Earth orbit, you're going to require less energy to achieve escape from the gravity, right? Is that?
Well, you see, you can have a gradual build up of speed from the Earth's surface.
Right.
You don't have to reach 11.2 kilometers per second from the Earth's surface.
Yes, I get what you mean.
You can start off slowly and build up, and as you get further out, that instantaneous escape velocity reduces. All you're doing is using, you're applying a certain amount of energy. I mean, if you look at the energy under a force distance graph, well, the area under a force distance graph gives you energy. And so what you need is the area under that graph to escape to infinity. And that gives you the amount of energy you need to escape the Earth's gravitational field.
Right.
Gotcha. Yeah, fair point.
Yeah, that 11.2 kilometers per second applies to an instantaneous velocity at the surface of the Earth.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you wanted it to work that way, you would literally have to go from 0 to 11.2 kilometers per second instantaneously at the surface.
And then have no other forces like air resistance, etc., acting on it as well.
Right. It can only be under the influence of the gravitational field of the Earth.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that number is decreasing rapidly because the distance to the center of that thing attracting you is increasing as you go up.
Yeah, because the gravitational field strength gets lower as you go up.
By the square of the distance.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen on a flat plane.
No.
I'm going to go and celebrate. Actually, Paul's just explained something to me that makes complete sense to me. It's brilliant.
Huh?
I don't know how I'd take that. I mean, I'm glad that you. It almost sounded like you never understood anything Paul said before.
Well, no, that's probably a lie. It's kind of like when Paul explains things, I kind of get bits and pieces sometimes, but not everything. But everything you just explained there made all complete sense. I just never thought about it before.
Very good.
Maybe it's because I understand a little bit about, well, at least a little bit about orbital mechanics. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to end up the stream. We can keep going over on Discord, but I'm going to close it down. Thanks, guys that came over and jumped in, and we'll see where we're at again, Terry, on Wednesday for those that want to show up. If Terry doesn't run one, I'll probably just run one for a little bit. So thanks, guys. I'll close down YouTube, and we'll catch you next week. Next